I am Luo Yi. I have lived in this world of swords and magic for over 10 years, but I still believe it is just a very real game I cannot quit. My goal is to win over every beautiful woman of any race. Right now, I am hiding behind a bloody rock in a deep, dark canyon. In front of me lies the Black Dragon Queen, Eluvia. She is huge and powerful, one of the strongest dragon rulers alive, but now she is dying. For 7 days, a group of the strongest humans, orcs, dwarves, mages, and holy knights have been fighting her. She is badly hurt, cursed, and near death. The hunters want to kill her for glory, riches, and her power. Then my system, which only I can see, appears. It offers me 3 choices. Option A, join the hunters and get rewards. Option B, watch and do nothing. Option C, a hidden option that needs me to get close to the dragon and talk to her. This is risky because both sides might see me as an enemy. Hidden options excite me. The rewards for A are good, but that is what ordinary people choose. Only the mysterious path C is worthy of a top player like me. High risk means high reward and a special hidden story. So I wrap my cloak tight, use a weak wind spell to hide myself, and sneak toward her like a ghost. The smell of blood and sulfur grows stronger. 80 meters, 50, 30, 20. I can see her golden blood and the curse crawling in her wounds. Her power still makes my soul shake. The system warns me to stop, but then it unlocks option C fully. Kneel before the lonely dragon queen and offer her my loyalty and life, forming an ancient sacred bond. The reward is a legendary hidden job, the Dragon Queen's Dragon Knight. My survival chance is under 1%. Do I accept? Less than 1% chance of survival. I lick my dry lips and grin. I am not afraid. I am excited. I have always been lucky, and I trust that luck now. Accept the mission, I say in my mind. The system locks in. A dark golden frame appears with a shadow of a black dragon swirling inside it. At the same time, I feel a strange force pass through my body and soul, connecting me to the dying dragon queen ahead. The system gives me my tasks. Get close to the Black Dragon Queen, ask her to accept me as her Dragon Knight, complete the bonding ritual, and help her escape or survive. If I fail, I die with her. There is no going back. Then the final attack begins. The army commander screams the order. The sky fills with magic of every color, red, blue, purple. Poisoned arrows rain down like a curtain. Warriors send waves of glowing sword strikes. All of it crashes toward the Black Dragon Queen like a flood of destruction, enough to flatten a small city. Eluvia stands there, broken and bleeding. Her black scales are shattered, her wings are torn, dark blood soaks the ground beneath her. But her golden eyes still burn with pride, so she gathers the last of her power in her throat, ready to unleash one final breath of destruction and take everyone down with her. That is when I move. I burst out from behind the rocks and sprint straight toward her. The wind tears at my clothes. Energy blades cut small wounds on my skin. Behind me, the deadly flood of attacks is falling fast. I can feel the cold touch of death on my spine. Every part of my body screams at me to run away. But I do not stop. I do not look back. I spread my arms wide. I am tiny compared to her, like a mouse standing before a mountain. Everyone on the battlefield freezes in shock. The hunters shout, calling me a madman, trying to stop me, but their attacks are already flying and cannot be turned. I look up into her enormous golden eyes. She stares back, stunned and suspicious. Then I shout the ancient oath with everything I have. Let the eternal stars and the bottomless abyss be my witness. My name is Luo Yi. I offer my soul and my flesh to form an everlasting bond with the noble Black Dragon Queen Eluvia, ruler of the abyss and the endless night. I will be your sword to cut through all darkness. I will be your shield against all harm. My life will beat with yours. My fate will be tied to yours forever. Please, let me become your dragon knight. The moment my words end, I drop to one knee. My knee hits the broken stones hard. I place my right hand over my chest and lower my head, copying the ancient ritual from old books where a mortal asks a dragon king for the highest knight bond. My back stays straight. Even with my head bowed, my eyes look up to meet hers. Time seems to slow down. The wall of destruction is still racing toward us. Death is seconds away. Eluvia stares down at me. I can see her golden eyes churning with shock, confusion, and anger. To her, I am an ant offering to marry a goddess at her worst moment. It is like running up to a queen covered in wounds, holding a handful of weeds, and saying, "Marry me. I will protect you." Ridiculous. Insulting. She growls in her deep dragon voice. "Foolish insect. Leave or die." Her killing intent hits me like ice. My heart pounds, not from fear, but because I know this is my only chance. I take a deep breath and shout even louder, pouring everything into my words. "I have never seen anyone more beautiful, more powerful, more noble than you. Your scales are the deepest stars in the night sky. Your eyes are gold melted from the sun. Mountains bow before you. How can someone like you fall here, killed by these thieves and butchers? Give me one chance. Even if I turn to ash fighting beside you for just one moment, I will have no regrets. Meeting you is the greatest miracle of my life." 70% of this speech I had already prepared in my head for winning over proud female characters. 30% is real emotion, squeezed out by the fact that I am actually about to die. Eluvia freezes completely. In thousands of years, no one has ever praised her like this. Everyone feared her power, hated her darkness, or wanted to steal her strength. No one ever simply told her she was beautiful. And no one has ever said these things at her lowest, ugliest, weakest moment, lifting up her pride when everything else was crumbling. Something tiny stirs deep inside her frozen heart, like a small ripple in a still, dark lake. The flood of attacks is almost on top of us now. The heat burns my skin. Death wraps around me completely. There is nowhere to run. Then her enormous jaws open, and her voice rumbles through my very soul. "Insignificant creature, remember your oath. If your heart hides any evil, my fire will burn your soul for all eternity." The instant she agrees, Eluvia lifts her head and fires her last breath attack at the incoming flood of destruction. At the same time, a dark golden magic circle lights up on her chest, and a thin golden thread shoots out and hits me right in the heart. The pain is beyond anything I have ever felt. Something hot, wild, and full of darkness rushes through the thread into my body, into my bones, into my soul. The system goes crazy with alerts. The contract is being signed. My job changes to a hidden class called Eternal Night Dragon Knight. My health jumps by 10 times, my magic by 5 times, my strength triples. I get new skills like Dragon Power, Dragon Thrust, Dragon Riding, and Soul Link. My muscles swell, my bones groan, my blood boils like lava, and the edges of my vision turn dark gold. It hurts so much I can barely think. But the power that comes with the pain is incredible. Eluvia's black breath slams into the army's attack in midair. The explosion shakes the whole canyon and vaporizes dozens of hunters instantly. But she is too weak. After wiping out most of the attack, her breath gives out. The remaining energy crashes into her broken body. She staggers and almost collapses. The leftover attacks fly toward me too. This is my moment. I grab my spear and pour all the wild dragon power into it. Dragon Thrust. The spear turns dark gold and hums with destructive energy. I charge straight into the storm of magic and arrows, not dodging, but cutting through them head on. Each swing tears my muscles, but I keep going, my eyes burning brighter. I carve a path through the chaos. Dozens of deep wounds open on my body, but I make it to the front of Eluvia's head and use my body and my melting, cracking spear to block the last deadly strikes aimed at her. I cough up blood mixed with bits of my insides. The pain nearly knocks me out, but the dragon power keeps healing me even as it burns me from within. The system tells me her feelings toward me changed. She went from seeing me as a threat to feeling shocked and slightly moved. Her golden eyes lock onto my back as I stand there soaked in blood, barely holding together, still refusing to fall. She is thinking, he is actually protecting me. With his weak, borrowed power. With his fragile human body. Something breaks inside the Black Dragon Queen. For the first time, she calls me by my name instead of insect, Luo Yi. Hold on. She swings her broken left wing over me like a shield and pulls me close to her neck. Then she pushes off the ground with her claws and beats her shattered wings with everything she has left, shooting upward toward the sky. We fly crooked and shaky, like a wounded bird. The hunters scream below us. She is running. Shoot her wings. Kill the traitor. Spells and arrows slam into her back and wings, bursting into clouds of blood. I can feel every one of her muscles twitching in pain. The smell of blood is so thick I can almost chew it. I hold on tight with one hand, but then I see the mages below casting a binding spell to trap us. I cannot let them finish. So I let go with one hand, hang half off her body, and pour my last bit of dragon power into my broken sword. I throw it as hard as I can. The sword shatters midair, but the pieces carry dark golden energy and fly like bullets. A legendary mage blocks most of them with his shield, but one piece punches through and stabs into his shoulder. He screams, and his spell breaks apart. That tiny delay is enough. Eluvia clears the heaviest attacks, beats her wings one final time, and we disappear into the gray clouds, shrinking to a tiny dot on the horizon. Behind us, the hunters rage. They start preparing tracking magic and flying mounts to chase us. On the battlefield, they clean up the mess and count their dead. Then a scout steps forward and tells the gold-armored commander something interesting. He says I look like someone he once saw in the capital, the second son of Duke Raymond from the Violet family, a young noble famous across the kingdom for being completely unable to use magic or fighting energy. A worthless failure abandoned by his own family. The orc general explodes with anger. Are you blind? That power, that speed, that fearlessness, and you say it was some useless noble. The scout swears I look like that person. He remembers because I had a striking face, but zero magical energy. The commander goes quiet. He is thinking. Everyone on the continent knows that a Dragon Knight contract can completely remake a human body. What if I had secretly formed a bond with the Black Dragon Queen before all this? But then again, Dragon Knights have not existed on this continent for a very long time. Back on the ground, the gold-armored commander makes a cold decision. He cannot let the truth get out. Thousands of elite fighters surrounding a dying dragon queen, only for one man to save her? That would humiliate everyone. So he creates a lie. He orders everyone to say the same story. The Black Dragon Queen was rescued by a dragon's servant disguised as a human duke's son. The real Luo Yi was supposedly kidnapped or killed. He forces the scout, who recognized me, to agree. Then he sends the fake news to the capital and to my father, Duke Raymond of the Violet family. High above the clouds, I lie on Eluvia's back. She has placed me on the flattest part of her spine, where fewer scales are broken. A gentle shadow energy holds me in place. I am completely spent. Every breath hurts. The contract is still sharing some of her pain with me, and my own wounds and the strain of using power my body was not ready for have left me barely conscious. The system chimes in. The first stage of the hidden mission is complete. All 4 goals finished. My rating is S rank, the highest. My new job and contract are my main rewards, with more to come later depending on how things go between me and Eluvia. Her feelings toward me have risen to 36, a mix of curiosity, early respect, and something she cannot quite name. I manage to turn my head toward her and croak out a joke through my pain. So, Eluvia, does this count as eloping? Her massive body goes stiff for just a second. Then she blasts hot air into my face with an angry roar. Shut up, you rude human. But the killing coldness from before is gone from her voice. Her feelings tick up to 38. Embarrassed, but not truly angry. She tears through the gray clouds, carrying me into the dark unknown. Behind us, the hunters and soon the whole kingdom will be coming after us. Ahead, there is nothing but fog and danger and a proud, wounded dragon queen who has not decided what to make of me yet. I lie on her back and feel her giant heart beating beneath me. My fingers brush her scales without thinking. They are hard and cold, but alive, full of strange warmth and power. My own heart skips. This game, I think as darkness takes me, is just getting started. I fade out with a faint smile. On the system screen, her affection score of 36 glows with a small, steady light. I wake up from the pain. Every muscle screams. Every bone feels filled with lava. The cold high-altitude wind cuts across my face like knives. I am lying on Eluvia's back, on her hard black scales, flying above the clouds. It takes me a few seconds to remember everything. The canyon, the battle, the contract, the escape. Right. I gambled and won. I bonded with a black dragon queen and ran away with her. The system says over 7 hours have passed since the contract was signed. I groan. We are still flying. We have been going for 7 hours, and we are not there yet. I call out weakly, my voice shredded by the wind. Your Majesty, where exactly is your nest hidden? My old bones are falling apart up here. Her giant head slowly turns. One golden eye looks down at me, cold and annoyed. After a long silence, she speaks. Are you saying I fly too slow? My survival instincts kick in immediately. No. That is not what I meant at all. I was just saying the distance is far. That is all. She snorts and lifts her head high, even though the movement clearly hurts her wounds. She tells me that if she were not cursed, ambushed, drained of power, hiding from trackers, and dragging along a useless burden like me, she could cross the entire continent in days. She asks if I think the name, Wings of Eternal Night, is just for show. Yes, your Majesty is powerful and amazing, #1 in the world, I mumble tiredly. Then my stupid mouth keeps going. So how much longer until we get there? The instant I say it, I know I messed up. She stops in midair. Her tail flicks upward and a gentle but firm shadow energy wraps around me, lifts me off her back, and tosses me into the open sky. I flip a full circle 1,000 meters above the ground. Then fly yourself, she says, her voice flat as ice. But I catch a tiny detail. The very tip of her tail curls upward playfully. She is enjoying this. I panic. I flail my arms and legs in the air, spot her tail nearby, and grab onto a sharp bone spike at the end. Now I am dangling below her tail like a rag in the wind, swinging back and forth. Below me is nothing but an endless sea of clouds, and, far beneath that, tiny mountains. One slip and I am dead. I surrender instantly. I was wrong. Great wings of eternal night. Fastest flyer on the continent. Faster than lightning. Mightier than the storm. Nobody is greater than you. Please forgive this foolish little human. She glides sideways and looks down at me hanging from her tail. I can see a hint of satisfaction in her golden eyes. Still think I am slow? She asks, her tone cool but teasing. Not at all. Not one bit. Still going to rush me? Never again. You can fly as long as you want. Even until the end of time. I will stay right here with you. We are eloping. Remember. Eluvia calms down after a moment. She lowers her body so I can climb back onto her back. Next time you disrespect me, I will drop you into the abyss to feed the demons. Yes, your Majesty is wise and generous, I say, scrambling back up. I rub my sore shoulder and shamelessly add, I was delirious from my injuries, talking nonsense. Besides, we have a life-sharing contract. If you throw me off and I die, the contract hits you back just as hard. Not a great deal for you either. That shuts her up. She knows I am right. If I die, she suffers too. She realizes I have figured out the rules and am using them to get away with being annoying. I can tell she is frustrated. On the battlefield, I was brave and sincere, and now that we are safe, I have turned into a shameless troublemaker. The system pops up. Her affection rose to 40. It says she has gotten used to my chatter and found some strange enjoyment in teasing me. So she is the type who likes messing with people. Great. We fly for 2 more hours. The land below changes from mountains to an endless dark green forest full of ancient trees and dangerous magical beasts. Then I notice Eluvia slowing down. Her breathing grows heavier. Her wing beats become forced. Blood seeps from the cracks in her wings and turns to red mist in the wind. She has been pushing far past her limit this whole time. She glides down toward a clearing at the edge of the forest. I ask if we have arrived. She says no. She simply cannot fly anymore. This forest is thick enough to hide us and has prey she can eat to recover some energy. She lands hard. Her claws dig deep trenches in the dirt, trying to hold herself steady. 2 seconds later, she collapses onto her side. Her chest heaves violently. Black smoke pours from her mouth with every breath, and bloody foam leaks from the corners of her jaws. Her dragon aura is almost gone. I slide off her scales and rush to her head. I open the contract status screen and my stomach drops. Health, 3% and still falling. Magic, 1.7%. Stamina, 0.4%. The system warns me that without help, she will die within 72 hours from her wounds and the curse spreading through her body. And because of our contract, when she dies, I die too. 3%. She flew for over 7 hours in this condition. She carried me across hundreds of miles, hiding from trackers, fighting through pain, and she only let herself collapse after reaching somewhere safe. I think back to every shaking breath, every trembling wing beat during the flight. She was dying the entire time and never said a word. Then the system chimes again. Her health drops another 0.1%. Are you kidding me? I mutter. I take a deep breath and crouch down in front of her massive head. Your Majesty, you cannot keep going like this. She forces her eyes open. Even now, barely conscious, she tries to sound dignified. I know my own limits. Do not lecture me. No, you don't. I blurt out. Her dragon pressure hits me like a wave of ice. But the contract blocks most of it. I do not flinch. I tell her the truth plainly. She needs to rest, heal, and eat. In her current state, even a pack of magical beasts or a few stray hunters could finish us both off. So I ask her to shrink her body down to save energy and let me take care of her. She goes quiet for a long time. I know she agrees with me, but her pride will not let her say it. She is the Black Dragon Queen. Thousands of years of being feared and worshipped. Showing weakness in front of a human she met less than a day ago feels unthinkable. So I try a different approach. I speak gently. You remember our contract? If you live, I live. Taking care of you is just me saving my own life. So please, let me help you. 5 simple words. No tricks, no flattery. They hit something deep inside her. She stares at me with those golden eyes, and I see her walls crack just a little more. After a long silence, she sighs. If you ever tell anyone about this, I will rip your soul out and burn it in the abyss for 10,000 years. Then her body begins to glow with dark light. The enormous dragon shrinks rapidly, smaller and smaller, until standing in the middle of the scattered broken scales is a tiny black dragon the size of a house cat. Little horns on her head, a thin tail, and small shiny black scales covering her whole body. I stare. I expected maybe a smaller but still fierce dragon shape. Not this. She is tiny. She lifts her head and tries to look powerful, but her tail drags on the ground. Her golden eyes are the same color, but now they look huge on her little face, like 2 pieces of amber. She looks nothing like a terrifying dragon queen. She looks adorable. I bite down hard to keep from laughing. If I laugh, I am dead. What are you looking at? Her voice has changed too. It is high and small and young sounding, but she still tries to sound fierce. Never seen a dragon king's core form before? Ignorant insect. Never. Your Majesty is still full of royal presence, even in this form. Very impressive, I say with a straight face, my cheeks aching from holding back the grin. She huffs and tries to walk toward the shade of a tree, but after 2 steps her tiny front legs give out, and she almost falls face first into the leaves. I move fast. I bend down, scoop her up, and tuck her into my arms. My battle jacket has a pocket sewn against my chest, just the right size for a curled-up mini dragon. It blocks the wind, and my body heat keeps her warm. You rude insect, she squeaks, her voice sharp but so small and cute it has 0 intimidating power. Please stay still, Your Majesty. You have no strength left to walk. I wrap my coat around her snugly, leaving only her little black dragon head and 2 tiny flailing claws poking out, and hold her safely against my chest. Let go of me. You dare touch the king. Eluvia thrashes in my arms, her tiny claws scratching weakly at my shirt. But she has no strength left. Her fierce struggling looks exactly like an angry kitten throwing a tantrum. I cannot help myself. Your Majesty, you look exactly like a grumpy little kitten right now. She explodes. Who are you calling a cat? I am a dragon. The Black Dragon Queen. Ruler of the eternal night. Every word comes out fierce and determined, but her voice is so small and soft that the whole speech sounds like a toddler's angry protest. Shoo, keep your voice down. Save your energy. I gently pat her cold little back through the cloth. My warm hand rests against her icy scales, and the heat slowly seeps through. She freezes completely. In thousands of years, no living thing has ever dared to touch her like this. Everyone kneeled. Everyone trembled. Everyone kept their distance. No one has ever patted a dragon queen on the back like she is a child needing comfort. And I did it so naturally, as if I have no idea how outrageous it is. While she is still stunned, I pick up a sturdy stick from the ground, about as tall as me and thick as my arm. My old sword broke in the battle, so this will have to do. I push a thin stream of dragon power into it. Dark golden light flows along the wood grain, and the dead branch turns hard as steel with a razor-sharp tip. Not bad for a makeshift spear. I grip the spear in one hand and hold Eluvia safe against my chest with the other. Then I hear it, rustling in the bushes all around us. Getting closer. Green eyes blink open in the shadows. 2, then 10, then more. Forest magic wolves. They are much bigger than normal wolves, dark-furred, with poisonous fangs dripping green slime. The pack leader stands almost as tall as my chest, with a twisted black horn on its forehead. They followed the scent of dragon blood. My system scans them. Level 10 to 15, ordinary rank. Weak spots at the throat, soft bellies, and very low resistance to shadow magic. If I kill the leader, the rest will panic and scatter. Perfect. Just the right level to test my new Dragon Knight powers. I glance down at the sulking mini-dragon in my arms. Stay still, Your Majesty. Hold on tight, and do not fall out. I plant my left foot forward, raise my spear, and tighten my whole body like a drawn bow. The Wolf King howls. 3 big wolves leap at me from 3 directions at once, fangs glowing green, aiming for my throat, my waist, and my legs. I charge forward instead of backing away. My wooden spear shoots straight into the first wolf's throat, right through the weak spot under its jaw. 1 hit, 1 kill. I spin the spear and smash the second wolf in the temple, sending it flying. The third wolf lunges at me from the left, but I grab its jaw with my bare hand, slam it to the ground, and stab it through the neck. 3 wolves dead in 3 breaths. From inside my jacket, Eluvia watches silently. I can feel her surprise. She is not impressed by the kills themselves. These are weak creatures to her, but by the way I fight. Clean, precise, no wasted movement. Nothing like the goofy guy who was joking on her back minutes ago. I check my stats. Level 10. My strength, speed, and toughness are all multiplied several times over thanks to the Dragon Knight class. I am only using 17% of my dragon power so far. And on my panel I spot 4 more hidden jobs I can unlock later. Fire Dragon Knight, Frost Dragon Knight, Holy Dragon Knight, and Light Dragon Knight. That means 5 Dragon Knight classes total, including my current one. My heart races. Binding with Eluvia was the best decision I have ever made. More wolves attack, driven mad by the smell of dragon blood. I cut through them without mercy. Spear through one throat, crack another's spine, crush another's nose. In minutes, the survivors flee into the forest with their tails between their legs. I catch my breath and check on Eluvia first. She is safe in her pocket, curled up tight. Her golden eyes stare up at me with a complicated look, shocked, confused, maybe a little moved. Your fighting is acceptable, she mumbles, turning her little head away. She refuses to give me a real compliment. I smile and let it go. Then I kneel among the dead wolves, crack open the alpha's skull with a thong, and dig out a small diamond-shaped magic core. It is low quality, a mix of wind and dark energy, worth only a few silver coins. But for a dragon queen at 3% health with no magic left, even this tiny bit of energy could help. I hold it up to her gently. Your Majesty, please eat something to recover a little. She pokes her small head out, sniffs once, and immediately turns away in disgust. This filthy, impure garbage from a low-level beast? You expect me to put this in my mouth? Normally this trash would not even be good enough to decorate the floor of my nest. Her pride is as tall as ever. But I can see her tiny body shivering. The cold from having no magic is eating away at her. She is getting weaker by the minute. I hold back and I roll and crouch down, bringing the magic core close to her tiny mouth. I soften my voice like I am coaxing a child. Open up. Just one. I won't force you after this. No. She clamps her little jaws shut and turns her head away. Just one, to stabilize your wounds. I said no. She turns the other way, tucking her small wings in. Pure stubbornness. Then her stomach growls. It is very quiet, but in the silent forest it sounds loud and clear. Her body goes stiff and the tip of her tail curls nervously. I catch it all, but I do not tease her. Instead, for the first time, I drop all the titles and just say her name. Eluvia. My voice is gentle, no fear, no flattery, just honest warmth. Her golden eyes waver. Something softens inside her. I try one more angle. Remember our contract. If you starve to death because you are too proud to eat, I die with you. And I do not want to die. I risked my life to save you. I became your dragon knight. I have not had the chance to fly across the sky with you, to crush your enemies, to help you return to your full power, to see the world together. I do not want to die pathetically in some forest. I touch the core lightly to her cool little nose. So just this once, eat it for me. Please, she stares at me. Wolf blood is still on my face, and I am tired, but I smile at her warmly. I can see her remembering. Me running toward her in the canyon. Me shielding her from the attacks. Me wrapping her in my coat. She realizes I am worried about her. Not for her power. Not for her title. Just for her. Oomph. She dips her head, snatches the core from my palm in one quick bite, and buries herself deep inside the pocket, refusing to show her face. I hear tiny crunching sounds and little grumbles in dragon language, probably complaining that it tastes like mud. The weak energy from the core spreads through her body. It is barely anything, but it stops her health from dropping further and eases the curse pain slightly. Her affection rises to 42. She accepted my care. I reach gently into the pocket and stroke her smooth, cool scales along her back. They feel like dark glass, cold and delicate. Good girl, I whisper softly. Two tiny fangs clamp down on my finger instantly. Not hard enough to break the skin, just enough to hurt. Her own special way of punishing me. Even half dead, she still has to get the last word. I look at the little tooth marks on my finger, and a strange thought hits me. Eluvia has lived for thousands of years. She has ruled the continent, terrified empires, and commanded the abyss. But dragon years are different from human years. If I convert her age into human terms, I look down at the tiny dragon in my arms, the one who throws tantrums, refuses to eat, gets embarrassed when I hold her, and bites me when I call her a good girl. A wild idea forms in my mind. What if this legendary, world-shaking black dragon queen, converted to human age, is not some ancient monster at all? What if she is basically just a stubborn, proud little girl? I shake off that dangerous thought about her real age. Some truths are better left alone. If I ever laugh at her because of it, she will make me pay. The sun is setting. The forest grows dark and cold. I scan the area one last time. The wolf bodies are still scattered around, but nothing else is coming. It is safe for now. Let's go, Your Majesty. It is getting late. We need to find shelter for the night. A tiny, sleepy, comes from my arms. I look down. The little black dragon has rested her head in the crook of my elbow, breathing softly. She seems to have fallen asleep. I slow my steps and quiet my breathing. This legendary dragon queen who terrifies the whole continent. She is not so scary after all. Deep in the forest, I find a massive ancient tree, wide enough for 10 people to wrap their arms around. Its roots have formed a natural hollow, hidden behind hanging vines and moss. Inside, there is just enough room for me to lie down and stretch my legs. I spend 10 minutes clearing out dead leaves and stones, then gather soft ferns to make a rough bed. Finally, I sit down against the roots and let out a long breath. Every part of me aches. Eluvia pokes her head out and looks around the tree hollow with her glowing golden eyes. Barely. Acceptable, she judges. I pull out my fire striker to make a small fire, but she stops me. No fire. This forest is full of night-hunting beasts with sharp eyes. A flame will draw every predator for miles. We cannot handle wave after wave of attacks right now. She is right. I put the fire striker away. The temperature drops fast after dark. Cold, damp air creeps into the hollow. My sweat-soaked clothes cling to my skin. I start shivering, teeth chattering softly. I try to keep still so I do not wake her. But she notices. After a long silence, so long I think she has fallen asleep, the pocket opens from inside. Her small black body crawls out. Without a word, she walks across my chest on her short little legs, slightly clumsy, and climbs up to my neck. Then she curls her whole body against my bare skin, pressing her small form tightly against my collarbone and throat. Warmth flows out of her. It is the leftover heat from her dragon life force. Nothing important to a dragon queen at full power, but to me right now it feels like a furnace in the dead of winter. The warmth seeps through my skin into my blood and pushes the cold away. Her tiny dragon breath tickles my collarbone, warm and soft, smelling faintly of sulfur and something like distant stars. Your Majesty, are you? Shut up. Her voice is muffled and stubborn. I am not warming you up on purpose. We have a life-sharing contract. If you freeze to death, the contract backlash hits me too. This stupid contract is nothing but trouble. She complains the whole time, but her little head burrows deeper into the curve of my neck. and her thin tail wraps tight around herself as she presses even closer against my warm skin. Her mouth says one thing. Her body says the opposite. I look down at this stubborn little dragon who says one thing and does the opposite, and a wave of warmth fills my chest. I can feel her heartbeat against me, fast like a tiny drum. I gently place my hand on her cool back and pull her a little closer. She freezes for a second, but then relaxes. No fighting, no scolding. She just lets it happen, quiet and still, curled against my neck. Outside the tree hollow, the wind blows through the leaves. Distant beasts howl in the darkness. But inside, it is warm and peaceful. Her affection rises to 45. The system says she is getting used to my warmth and chose to stay close. I close my eyes and sleep. No dreams, just rest. When morning comes, golden light filters through the trees. The fog smells fresh and clean. I feel much better. My wounds have healed quite a bit overnight thanks to the contract. I look down and find Eluvia still curled up in the curve of my neck, fast asleep. Her face is completely relaxed, all the pride and coldness gone. Her tiny mouth is slightly open, showing a sliver of pink tongue. She smacks her lips now and then and makes the softest little snoring sounds, like a sleeping kitten. The terrifying ruler of the abyss, snoring on my collarbone. I try so hard not to laugh, but my shaking wakes her up. She opens her foggy golden eyes, stares blankly at me for 2 seconds, then remembers last night. She panics, jumps up too fast, and slams her little horns straight into my chin. Ow! My eyes water from the pain. Your fault for staring, she snaps, puffing up her tiny body, tail raised high, pretending to be fierce. I rub my sore chin and just smile. Having this contradictory little dragon queen around makes even a dangerous survival situation fun. After stretching and recovering, I check the system map. About 2 kilometers away, there is a group of iron spine boars, level 15 to 18 magic beasts. Tough hides, iron-hard bristles on their backs, but soft bellies. They drop earth-type magic cores and edible meat. Edible meat. My mouth waters. I have been living on dry rations and wild fruit since I left home years ago. Hot roasted boar sounds like heaven right now. Too bad there is no cumin or chili powder in this world. Your Majesty, I am going to hunt some boars. I will bring back meat for us and magic cores for you. She yawns lazily on my shoulder. Iron spine boars. Those filthy, stupid, low-class creatures? Their magic cores are even worse quality than the wolf ones last night. I do not want them. Right on cue, her little stomach growls loudly. She goes rigid, snaps her mouth shut, and whips her head the other way, pretending nothing happened. I hold back my grin, grab my wooden spear, and head toward the boar territory. We reach the boar territory. I hide in the bushes and study the scene. 5 iron spine boars are feeding in a muddy clearing. The leader is massive, with 2 sharp white tusks and iron bristles standing up along its back like steel thorns. Your Majesty, let's work together, I whisper. I will charge in and draw their attention. You fly above and hit their eyes and bellies with small dragon breath attacks. Eluvia jumps off my shoulder and puffs up to about the size of a crow, just big enough to fly on her own. The great black dragon queen, reduced to helping a human hunt pigs, she grumbles. If anyone ever hears about this, I will die of shame. But she is already perched on a low branch, golden eyes locked on the targets, ready to strike. I burst out of the bushes and charge. The boar leader goes crazy, lowers its head, and rams straight at me with terrifying force. I twist aside at the last second and sweep my spear at its front legs, but this thing is faster than I expected. It dodges and swings its tusks across my side, tearing my outer coat and slamming me backward. I stumble, about to fall. Then a tiny beam of dark energy hits the boar right in the face. Eluvia's mini dragon breath explodes on its snout, blinding it for a moment. I catch my balance and look up at her gratefully. She huffs from her branch. What are you looking at? Focus on fighting. If I had not saved you, that stupid pig would have crushed you. I held back on purpose so you could practice. Do your best, idiot knight. Our second attack goes much smoother. I fake an opening and lure the boar to my left. When it misses, I spin and stab at its right eye while Eluvia dives down and blasts its left eye with dragon breath. Blind and panicking, the boar thrashes wildly. I drive my spear into the soft spot under its throat. It crashes to the ground, dead. The other 4 boars scream and flee into the forest. I catch my breath and dig out a small yellow magic core from the leader's skull. Not great quality, but good enough for now. A small black shadow lands on my shoulder. Eluvia holds her head high, tail swishing proudly. You are so weak, stupid knight. Without me you would be flat meat under that pig's hooves. She is clearly fishing for praise. I cannot resist. I reach up and rub her little head. My fingers slide over her smooth, cool black scales, fine as polished glass. Then my fingertip brushes the base of one of her tiny horns. She jolts like electricity just shot through her whole body. Her wings snap open. Her golden eyes go wide with panic and embarrassment. What are you doing? She jumps back, slapping both little claws over her horns, voice sharp and flustered. Do not touch my horns. My hand freezes in midair. I just rubbed your head. No means no. Her scales flush a faint dark red. She stammers, half explaining, half hiding the truth. Dragon horns are extremely private and sensitive. Only the closest, most trusted. Anyway, outsiders are not allowed to touch them. Her voice gets smaller and smaller until she turns away completely, showing me the back of her stiff little head, radiating embarrassment. Dragon horns are extremely sensitive. I quietly file that information away for later. I raise my hands and surrender. Sorry, I will never touch your horns again. She huffs, but her tail tip curls playfully, giving away that she is not really mad. Her affection rises to 47. The system says she is starting to enjoy fighting alongside me. After the hunt, I drag the boar to a hidden stream where the water will cover the smell of blood. I spend over an hour carefully processing everything. I cut the meat into pieces and roast them on sticks for food supplies. I scrape and treat the tough pigskin to later make into a simple backpack. Then I clean the magic core and offer it to Eluvia. She looks at it with pure disgust, but then she glances at my pale, tired face, remembers how hard I fought and worked, and swallows the core in one quick bite. Awful, she says flatly. I nearly burst out laughing, but hold it in. Then, just as I am packing up to head back, an icy chill shoots up my spine. Something is watching us. Something powerful. I grab my spear. The forest looks peaceful, birds singing, water flowing, but every instinct I have is screaming danger. What is wrong? Eluvia flies up from my shoulder, alert. Something is watching us, I whisper, and it is strong. A black blur explodes from the shadows behind me, so fast my eyes cannot even track it. Pure killing intent. I throw myself sideways on instinct alone. 3 deep claw marks tear into the ground where I just stood, clean and smooth as knife cuts. I roll to my feet and finally see it. A shadow panther. It is the size of a bull, sleek and muscular, covered in pure black fur that blends perfectly into the darkness. Amber slit eyes lock onto me and Eluvia. Black mist curls around its legs. Its fangs drip with saliva. The system flashes a warning in bright red. Level 30 Elite Boss Monster. Master of Shadow and Stealth. Claws that can shred magic shields and armor. Explosive speed with almost no equal among beasts its level. The system's advice is clear. Run immediately, do not fight. My heart sinks. Level 30 Elite Boss. I am only level 12. Even with all my Dragon Knight bonuses, this thing outclasses me in every way. It is in perfect condition, fur glossy, muscles full, shadow energy flowing strong. Meanwhile, Eluvia and I are both wounded and running on fumes. It is after me, Eluvia says from the air. My dragon blood scent leaks out no matter how much I hide it. Low-level beasts stay away out of fear, but a predator this strong sees it as a prize worth risking everything for. This is my fault. I grip my spear tighter. Then we kill it together. The panther moves before she can answer. 1 second it is standing still, the next it is 3 meters in front of me. Its claws swing down wrapped in black shadow, sealing every direction I could dodge. I have no choice but to block. The impact is like getting hit by a boulder. My hands split open, blood runs down the spear shaft. I fly backward and slam into a tree trunk. Leaves rain down on my head. I cough up blood. My ribs feel like they shifted. No time to recover. The panther melts into the shadows and vanishes completely. I cannot see it, hear it, or sense it. Its stealth is far beyond anything I can handle. Then I realize, it was never after me. It wants Eluvia. Kill the dragon first, eat the human later. That is how a top predator thinks. A black claw shoots out of thin air behind her. aimed straight at her tiny body. Watch out, my body moves before my brain does. I launch myself at her, ignoring the screaming pain in my chest, and shove her out of the way. The claws tear through me instead. 3 deep gashes rip from my left shoulder down to my right hip, cutting through skin and muscle all the way to the bone. Hot blood pours out and soaks half my body. The pain hits like lightning. My vision goes black. I almost pass out right there. Luo Yi. Her scream cuts through the air like a blade. I crash to the ground. Blood spreads beneath me in the dirt. The shadow panther lands nearby, calm and satisfied. It licks my blood off its claws with a lazy, cruel look. To it, I am already dead. Now it just needs to finish off the defenseless little dragon. It walks toward me slowly, ready for the killing blow. Then the entire forest freezes. A pressure so massive, so ancient, so terrifying slams down on everything. The air stops moving. Every living thing holds its breath. The panther's legs lock up. Its fur stands straight. Its pupils shrink to pinpoints. It is shaking, trembling from the deepest part of its soul. It looks up. Eluvia is growing. Fast. Crow-sized, then chicken-sized, then hawk-sized, then half as tall as a person. Her black scales spread and gleam with cold metallic light. Her golden eyes are no longer cute or playful. They are burning with pure golden fire, filled with a rage so deep and violent it could burn the world to nothing. This is real dragon authority, the power of a dragon king. Her voice drops all the softness and stubbornness. It becomes something low, cold, and ancient, like a roar rising from the deepest pit of the abyss. You dare hurt him. The moment her last word drops, Eluvia fires a real dragon breath, not the tiny ones from before, but a true blast of the Black Dragon Queen's destructive power. Weakened, yes, but still terrifying enough to shake any creature's soul. The shadow panther screams and dives sideways, but it is too slow. The black breath tears across its hind legs, melting fur and muscle on contact. Black smoke rises as its flesh corrodes. The beast howls and crashes into a tree, half its body destroyed and bleeding. But the pain drives it insane. With its last burst of strength, it launches itself straight at Eluvia, fangs aimed at her throat, ready to trade its life for hers. Dragon thrust. I do not know where I find the strength. My body is torn open, my blood is everywhere, but I lunge from the side and drive my spear straight through the panther's open mouth, out the back of its neck. Its amber eyes go blank. It staggers 2 more steps, claws digging into the mud, then crashes to the ground and stops moving forever. I drop to one knee. My spear slips from my hand. My whole body shakes. My vision goes dark around the edges, but I do not look at my own wounds. I turn my head and search for her. She has shrunk back down to crow's size, lying in a pile of fallen leaves, drained of everything. Are you okay? I ask. My voice is hoarse and weak, but the worry in it is real. She stares at me, at the 3 terrible gashes across my chest, at the blood soaking half my body, at the fact that I can barely stay upright, but my first thought was still about her. For the first time, her voice has no pride, no act, no mask. Just raw fear and panic. You idiot. Why did you not dodge? You saw the attack coming. Why did you block it with your body? I manage a small, tired smile. Because it was aiming at you. So what? She shouts, voice cracking. I am the Black Dragon Queen. I rule the eternal night. A mere forest panther, I could still. You are weak right now, I say quietly, cutting her off. I know how strong you are at full power. You could kill that thing with a breath. But right now, you cannot. I raise my bloody hand and gently place it on her little head, carefully avoiding her horns this time. Just a soft, warm touch on her cool scales. I remember every word of my oath. I will be your sword to cut down every enemy. I will be your shield against every danger. Until I fall completely, nothing and no one gets to hurt you. That is what a dragon knight does. A dragon knight protects his dragon. She freezes. Her tiny body goes still. She has lived over 4,000 years. She has seen fear, greed, betrayal, and every ugly thing the world has to offer. But she has never seen someone like me, someone bleeding to death, barely standing, smiling softly, and telling her without hesitation that protecting her is the most natural thing in the world. Her heart beats hard, once, in a way she has never felt before in 4,000 years. The system tells me her affection has jumped to 50. In her heart, I am no longer just a temporary contract partner. I have become someone she truly trusts, a real guardian. The system floods me with rewards. I jumped 3 levels to 15 from killing that level 30 boss. All my stats surge, and the panther dropped a mid-rank shadow magic core, pure quality with no impurities. For a shadow dragon queen starving for energy, this is the best possible medicine. I bandage my chest wound with torn cloth and dragon energy to stop the bleeding. The gash has started to scab over. It still hurts with every breath, but I will not bleed out. Instead of treating my other wounds, I go straight to the panther's corpse and crack open its skull. The dark core inside glows with deep, rich shadow energy. I wipe it clean on my bloody shirt and hold it out to her. Dinner time, Your Majesty. She looks at the core, then at the terrible wound across my chest. She is quiet for a long time. Then she lowers her head and takes it from my hand without a single complaint. No fuss about quality this time. She knows exactly what this core cost me. The moment she swallows it, warm shadow energy spreads through her body. Her health climbs from 3% to over 8. Her magic starts recovering. She is no longer on the edge of death. She has room to breathe and heal. I watch her numbers stabilize on the system panel and let out a deep sigh of relief. She is safe. That is all that matters. Then everything goes black. I fall face first into the dirt. Luo Yi. Her panic scream is the last thing I hear. I do not know how long I am out. When I finally open my eyes, I am lying in our tree hollow on the soft fern bed. The crushing pain in my chest has faded to a dull ache. My wounds have been cleaned. A layer of herbal paste covers them, smelling faintly of medicinal plants. Clean cloth bandages are wrapped neatly around my torso. The wrapping is a little clumsy, clearly done by someone who has never bandaged anyone before, but every layer is careful and tight. Whoever did this cared very much. I turn my head. Eluvia is curled up right beside my pillow, tiny body rolled into a ball on the ferns, fast asleep. Moonlight slips through the cracks of the tree hollow and coats her black scales in silver. Without her daytime pride and fierce act, she looks like a sleeping kitten. I reach out to pet her head. My fingers barely rise before her golden eyes snap open. What are you doing? Her voice is soft and groggy from sleep, but instantly suspicious. My hand freezes. I smoothly redirect it to scratch the back of my own head. Just an itch. She squints at me, not really buying it, but lets it go. Then she walks across my chest on her tiny legs, stops at my bandaged wound, and gently presses it with her small claw. SSS. I wince. Oh, so you can feel pain after all? She huffs, but instantly lightens her touch, barely brushing the cloth. You are lucky. It looks bad, but it missed your heart and lungs. I used dragon herb knowledge to make a special paste for you. Rest tonight, and it will start to close by morning. I blink in surprise. You know medicine? Dragon heritage spans 10,000 years of wisdom. Herbal medicine is nothing but a minor skill. She lifts her chin proudly. Then she turns her head away, voice dropping to almost a whisper, shy and awkward. It is just, in 4,000 years of living, this is the first time I have ever treated someone's wounds with my own hands. If you dare complain about my work, I will kill you. I look at her awkward, blushing reaction and feel a warm ache in my chest. Thank you, I say softly. She goes stiff, her scale tips turning pink. After a long pause, all she manages is a quiet, humph, turning her head away. She does not deny it. Then, because I cannot help myself, I ask, were you crying earlier? The tree hollow explodes with noise. Absolutely not. A dragon tail whips across my body with a sharp crack. The next evening, I am at the stream cleaning the shadow panther's hide when the ground starts to tremble. Faint at first, then louder and heavier, like 1,000 drums pounding closer and closer. The system flashes red. Deep in the mountain, a lord-level beast, at least level 50, has sensed Eluvia's energy from yesterday's outburst. It is driving every creature in the forest toward us, a massive stampede meant to flush her out. I climb a tall tree and look out. The sight freezes my blood. Countless beasts, wolves, boars, lizards, creatures I have never even seen, flood through the forest like a living tidal wave. They are not hunting. They are running for their lives, and they are heading straight for us. Every direction is blocked. There is no gap, no path, no way around. Eluvia appears beside me, hovering at my shoulder, her expression deadly serious. It is my fault. My burst of dragon power yesterday gave away our position. Whatever lives deep in that mountain felt it, and is using the stampede to force me into the open. I stay calm. We cannot fight this many. We will be overwhelmed. She is quiet for 1 second. Then dark dragon flames flicker across her tiny body. Luo Yi. No matter what happens next, do not panic. Trust me. Before I can respond, she spreads her wings wide. Shadow energy explodes around her. Her body begins to grow. Not the small puff from before, but a full release. Crow, hawk, wolf, horse. In seconds she reaches the size of a full war horse, black scales gleaming, wings spread wide and powerful. It is her absolute limit in her wounded state, and the strain shows immediately. Her breathing turns heavy, her dragon flames flicker unstably. But she holds firm, hovering in front of me, shielding me. She turns her burning golden eyes toward me. Get on. I stare for 1 heartbeat. Stop standing there. The stampede is almost here. I cannot hold this form long. Move. I snap out of it. I leap from the tree and land on her back. It is wider and steadier than I expected, even in this half form. My hands find the base of her horns on either side of her neck and grip them for balance. The instant I touch them, something clicks. A strange, invisible connection flows between us. I can feel every twitch of her muscles, predict her next move before she makes it, sense her exhaustion and pain as if they were my own. The system confirms it. Dragon riding skill activated. Stability and coordination boosted. Our senses sync by 35%. Mount registered. Eluvia, wings of eternal night, the black dragon queen. When I climb onto her back, something surprising happens. Instead of weighing her down, my dragon riding skill actually makes her fly better. It shares the burden, smooths her movements, and improves everything about her flight. She notices immediately. How is this possible? She asks, stunned. I rub my nose awkwardly. It is my dragon knight skill. Dragon riding. It boosts our coordination and helps you fly easier. 3 seconds of dead silence. Then her voice comes through, terrifyingly calm. You were telling me you had a skill this whole time that makes flying easier for me, and you kept it hidden for 2 days? You watched me drag my dying body across hundreds of miles carrying you, until my life force nearly ran out, and you said nothing? I have no good excuse. I forgot. I was confused when I first woke up, and then we kept fighting and running. Idiot human. She blasts the words directly into my brain through our soul link. I bury my face in her neck scales and play dead. Hold on tight. The stampede is here. She drops it and focuses. Her wings beat hard and she shoots forward like a black bolt of lightning, straight at the weakest edge of the beast flood. A wave of wind wolves charges at us. Their alpha howls, terrified of the dragon, but even more terrified of whatever is behind them. Hang on. She opens her mouth and sweeps a wide blast of shadow breath across the front line. Wolves drop like cut grass, clearing a path. I lean low on her back, spear ready, picking off every beast that gets close from the sides and rear. 1 thrust per kill, always hitting the throat or eye. We work together like we have done this 100 times. She clears the way with breath attacks and flying maneuvers. I cover her blind spots and finish off stragglers. Together we are a single black blade cutting through an ocean of desperate, stampeding creatures. When my spear punches through the last rock lizard blocking our path, we finally break free. Behind us, chaos and madness. Ahead, a wide open valley bathed in the last golden light of sunset. Eluvia slows down and glides to the valley floor. The moment she lands, her legs buckle. She nearly collapses. The forced transformation, the fighting, the flying, it drained everything she had left. I jump off and rush to support her neck. Are you okay? It is nothing, she pants, still trying to sound proud. Just a side effect of releasing my true form. A little rest, and I will be fine. She lies down on the grass, breathing hard. I sit beside her quietly and run my fingers along the edge of her trembling wing, careful to avoid sensitive spots. You did great. Thank you. She says nothing. She just rests her big head on her front claws and closes her golden eyes. The evening wind blows away the smell of blood and smoke, replacing it with fresh grass. The last light fades. Night falls, peaceful and still. But the danger is not over. Deep inside the ancient mountain range, in the darkest depths, a pair of eyes darker than the night itself slowly opens. An ancient, low, possessive laugh echoes through the hollow mountain. Eluvia, how pitiful you look. Night falls over the valley. I rest against a smooth boulder while the contract slowly heals my wounds. The claw marks on my chest have scabbed over, an itch with new skin growing. Eluvia is curled up on the grass beside me, her breathing steady, her shadow energy slowly recovering. The valley is quiet. Too quiet. The insects have stopped. The wind has died. My instincts scream at me. Then the ground explodes. The earth shakes so violently that trees topple and rocks tumble down the slopes. Something enormous is burrowing toward us from underground. The system panel flashes blood red. Earth Splitter Bear King. Lord Class Boss. Level 75. I am level 15. That is a 60-level gap. The system cannot even calculate my survival odds. It just says, run. I grab Eluvia and shout, we need to go. Something is coming. She opens her eyes at the same instant. But instead of running, she stands and pushes me behind her. It is here. An old acquaintance. The entire north wall of the valley blows apart. Through the dust and falling boulders steps a bear the size of a small castle. 20 meters tall, standing upright. Fur thick as steel needles glowing with earth magic. Slabs of living rock embedded in its back like natural armor. Its dark red eyes burn like coals. It looks down at Eluvia with zero fear. Only greed, contempt, and the pleasure of revenge. The great black dragon queen, it rumbles, its voice shaking the canyon walls. How pitiful you look now. You really are weak. My heart drops. This thing knows her, and it clearly has a grudge. Eluvia lifts her head, pride unbroken even at her size. A defeated dog, nothing more. You once begged for your life at my claws, offering every treasure you owned just to survive. And now you dare bark at me. The Bear King roars so loud the ground cracks beneath its feet. Earth magic erupts around it. Dozens of stone spikes, thick as pillars, form in the air around its body. I stare in disbelief. Did she really just insult the level 75 monster to its face? We are in no position to pick fights. A little diplomacy, maybe some stalling, anything but poking its deepest wound. But Eluvia does not do diplomacy. She glances back at me, serious for once. Step back, Your Majesty. Step back, she repeats, leaving no room for argument. This is an old debt between us. Do not interfere. She turns to face the living mountain before her. Black dragon flames ignite across her small body. You think I am still the same dying dragon from 3 days ago? Her voice echoes through the night with the full authority of a dragon king. Even with only 30% of my power back, killing you is more than enough. Her body begins to grow. In seconds, Eluvia transforms into a black dragon with wings stretching over 20 meters. Her scales gleam under the moonlight, and her golden eyes burn with fighting spirit. She is still far from her full size, but even this form is enough to shake any creature's soul. The Bear King's eyes flash with caution, then turn vicious. You are bluffing. It slams both massive paws into the ground. Hundreds of stone spikes rain down from the sky like meteors. Eluvia snatches me onto her back and launches into the air, weaving through the gaps in the rock storm. One spike clips her wing and tears off several scales. Dark, golden blood scatters in the air. She grunts but holds steady. She fires back. Breath of destruction, a beam of pure black energy, thicker and darker than anything I have seen her use before, rips through the air toward the Bear King. The space around it warps and screams. The Bear King does not dodge. It crosses its arms, layers its rock armor into a shield several meters thick, and charges straight into the blast. The collision is blinding. The shockwave flattens every tree for hundreds of meters. When the dust settles, the Bear King is still standing. Its armor is shattered, its fur is burned, blood is leaking out, but it is alive. It tanked a direct hit from a dragon queen. Your breath is much weaker than before, it laughs. You really are hurt badly. Pathetically weak, it launches itself into the sky like a flying mountain. Eluvia barely pulls up in time to dodge. You survived 1 blast, she says coolly. Can you survive 10? You will not get the chance. The Bear King throws its head back and roars so loud the mountains shake. The system warns me. It has activated a king-level skill called Ancient Beast Command. Every flying creature within 100 miles that is weaker than the Bear King is now forced to obey it. Duration, 30 minutes. I look up and my blood runs cold. The stars disappear behind a wall of wings. Thousands of flying beasts pour in from every direction. Iron-feathered hawks with 10-meter wingspans. Swarms of stone gargoyle bats. Two-headed lesser dragons spitting fire. Hundreds, then thousands, blotting out the sky, surrounding Eluvia from all sides and sealing off every escape route. The Bear King grins from below. I waited hundreds of years for this moment, for you to be at your weakest. You can kill 100, 1,000, but 5,000, 10,000. Hand over your dragon essence. I promise I will bite gently. Eluvia hovers in the air, chest heaving, her dragon flames flickering. That one-breath attack used up most of the energy she had recovered. She is running on fumes again. I shout up to her. Your Majesty, pull back. Do not try to fight all of them. She grits her teeth. I can see the fury and frustration in her eyes. She knows I am right. She cannot fight a Lord-class boss and 10,000 flying beasts at the same time. But running away from someone who once knelt at her feet burns her pride to the bone. While she hesitates for just 1 second, the swarm rushes in. Hundreds of winged dragons lead the charge, jaws wide open, diving straight at her. Eluvia sweeps her wings and blasts the first wave of flying beasts apart. Dozens of them die instantly. The experience floods into me, and I level up to 16. Thanks to our life-sharing contract, both of us recover 15% health. I feel the tightness in my chest ease, and beneath me, her flight becomes a little smoother. But more beasts fill the gaps immediately. Endless waves keep coming. Through our soul link, her voice reaches me, calm and serious, no pride or teasing left. Luo Yi. I am going to blast a path open and charge the Bear King, drawing everything toward me. You fly the opposite direction. The beasts will follow me. You will have about 1 minute to escape. I freeze. What are you planning to do? You are young. There is no reason for you to. Shut up, stupid queen, I snap. Our contract is life and death together. If you die, I die anyway. You fly, I fight, and we leave the rest to luck, she sighs. Idiot. Just as the swarm is about to crash into us, a pillar of silver-white light falls from the heavens. It is not moonlight. It is dragon breath, pure and brilliant, over 10 meters wide, dropping straight down from the sky into the thickest part of the flying swarm. Night turns into day. Hundreds of beasts evaporate without even a scream. The massive iron-feathered hawk king becomes a shadow in the light, and then simply ceases to exist. One single attack wipes out the entire sky full of creatures. The Bear King looks up in terror. Who? A silver-white dragon descends through the clouds. She is as large as Eluvia, but sleeker, more elegant, like a sculpture made of moonlight and silver. Every scale shimmers softly. Her horns are long and delicate. Silver light drifts from her wing tips like glowing snow. The Silver Dragon Queen. Seraphina, the Moonlight Aria. She looks down at the Bear King the way someone looks at a bug. No anger, just complete indifference. The Bear King stumbles backward, first standing on end, voice shaking. Silver Dragon Queen. She ignores it entirely and turns to Eluvia. Her silver eyes pause on me for just 1 second, then move to the battered black dragon. Her voice is cool and teasing, like a stream flowing under the moon. Eluvia, you really do look pathetic. Eluvia goes rigid. I can practically feel 100 emotions warring inside her through our link. Humiliation, frustration, the inability to argue back, and the agony of being seen like this by someone she knows. Seraphina, why are you here? She manages stiffly. The Silver Dragon Queen settles gracefully onto a boulder, tail draped elegantly over the stone as if sitting on a throne. I sensed a certain fool's life force nearly vanishing, so I came to check. I did not expect to find a brainless bear showing off and quite a performance. She glances at the fleeing beasts, then at the Bear King, whose courage is visibly evaporating. Facing a wounded Eluvia was one thing. Facing a second Dragon Queen at full power is something else entirely. Seraphina's gaze turns cold. Leave. Now. While I still feel like settling our old scores with words instead of fire. The Bear King hesitates. It has waited hundreds of years for this chance. But it looks at Seraphina, then at the scorched ground where thousands of its flying beasts used to stand, wiped out by a single breath. Its teeth start chattering. Without a word, it turns and runs, crashing back into the mountains until the rumbling fades into nothing. The valley goes quiet. Then Seraphina's silver dragon body begins to shrink and reshape. The scales pull inward, the wings fold, and she transforms into a human woman. She is stunning. Long silver-white hair flows to her waist, shimmering faintly like starlight. Her eyes are silver, cold and deep like moonlit pools. Her skin is almost transparent, her features sharp and elegant. She wears a fitted silver-white robe that looks simple but is actually dragon scale armor, with delicate silver patterns that catch the moonlight. She is tall, graceful, and carries herself like the moon itself decided to walk the earth. And I am in full panic mode. I recognized her the instant I saw the silver breath. Seraphina, the Moonlight Aria, the Silver Dragon Queen. One of the highest-ranked targets in my game. I spent 2 whole months raising her affection to maximum. She was one of the hardest characters to win over among all the Dragon Queens. My strategy with Eluvia was desperate loyalty in her darkest hour. With Seraphina, the approach was, well, it is a long and painful story. The important part is that after I discovered I could not trigger a Dragon Knight class with her, I quietly disappeared. And now she is standing right in front of me. The second she starts transforming, I move faster than I have ever moved in my life. I rip a strip of cloth from my coat, wrap it around my face, and tie 2 tight knots behind my head. By the time she focuses her eyes, only my eyes are visible. Fastest disguise I have ever pulled off. Seraphina walks over, elegant and unhurried. She glances at my wounds, then asks Eluvia, "Who is he?" Eluvia flies in front of me protectively. "He is my Dragon Knight." Not an enemy, Dragon Knight. For the first time, Seraphina's cool expression cracks. Her silver eyes widen with genuine shock. The Dragon Knight that has not existed for over 3,000 years? That is right. Eluvia's voice carries unmistakable pride. "My Dragon Knight." Seraphina goes silent for 3 seconds. Then a complicated smile forms on her lips, a mix of surprise, curiosity, suspicion, and something else I cannot quite read. "Interesting," she murmurs, looking past Eluvia at me. "How did you manage this?" "That is not the point," Eluvia says, her voice tense. "It is absolutely the point." Seraphina's smile turns playful and mischievous. Everyone in the dragon race knows that a Dragon Knight contract, especially the highest level life and death bond, creates a permanent soul resonance between the 2 parties. In the ancient dragon texts, this level of bond is the equivalent of what humans call, she pauses deliberately, then pronounces the last word slowly and clearly. "A union." Eluvia's scales turn bright red. "Nonsense. That is human nonsense. The Dragon Knight contract is a sacred bond, not a marriage." "Stop making things up," she shouts. Seraphina tilts her head with a calm, knowing smile. "I only stated what the ancient texts say. I never named anyone. You seem awfully defensive for someone with nothing to hide." "Seraphina." The Silver Dragon Queen gives an elegant little laugh and drops the subject. Then she steps closer and focuses on me. "So, mysterious Dragon Knight, why exactly are you covering your face in front of another Dragon Queen?" My brain is on fire. She knows Eluvia well. She is clearly much sharper than Eluvia, and if she figures out who I am finished. I spent 2 months winning her over in the past, and then vanished without a trace once I realized I could not unlock a Dragon Knight class with her. If she connects the dots now, standing next to Eluvia, everything falls apart. I clear my throat and force my voice down as low and rough as I can make it. "My name is Shurhao. Old throat injury. Please excuse the voice." "Shurhao?" Her silver eyes narrow. Pure suspicion. Eluvia also gives me a confused look, but says nothing. Seraphina studies me for 2 long seconds. Her gaze traces my build, my shoulders, my height. I am a bit taller and more muscular than I used to be, thanks to the Dragon Knight transformation. But my eyes, the only part of my face still showing, seem to bother her. Something about them feels familiar to her. But my voice is completely wrong. She remembers a clean, warm, youthful voice. Not this raspy, broken growl. She does not press further. But the look in her silver eyes says everything. I know something is off, and I will figure it out. "Throat injury. How unfortunate," she says softly, each word dripping with meaning. Cold sweat soaks my back. Eluvia flies to my shoulder and taps my cheek with her tail. "You have seen him. You have looked. You can leave now." "So eager to chase me away?" "Afraid I will steal your Dragon Knight," Seraphina teases. "You dare." Eluvia puffs up instantly. Just kidding. Serafina shakes her head. You still cannot take a joke. She rises into the air, glowing silver. I am heading back to Silver Moon Peak. You should hurry to your fortress too. She pauses and looks at me one last time with that half-smile. I look forward to our next meeting, Mr. Dragon Knight. She turns into a streak of silver light and vanishes into the sky. I let out the longest breath of my life. My back is completely drenched in sweat. Your Majesty, I say weakly, is she always like that? Like what? Like she sees through everything but just chooses not to say it. Eluvia is quiet for a moment. She has the sharpest senses of any dragon queen in our generation. And she is 5,000 years old. 1,000 years older than me. A 5,000-year-old fox. My future just got a lot more complicated. Let's go. Eluvia grows to horse size. The Bear King might come back with reinforcements. We fly through the night to my fortress. I climb onto her back, grip her horn bases, and we shoot into the starry sky. The mountains roll beneath us in the moonlight. I finally start to relax and think about everything that happened. The Bear King, the flying swarm, Serafina. I used to believe this world was just a game with programmed characters. But tonight showed me it is far more real and complex than I ever imagined. Ancient grudges, hidden relationships, secrets I have not even scratched. I sigh, one step at a time. My main goal right now is still maxing out Eluvia's affection. Everything else can wait. At dawn, we arrive at her dragon fortress, a black obsidian castle built into a cliff face, glowing darkly in the morning light. Thick shadow energy surrounds it. A normal person would choke just getting close, but thanks to our contract, it feels strangely welcoming to me. She shrinks back to crow size on my shoulder. We are here. This is my nest. Her voice is tired but proud. Do not enter the main hall without permission. Do not touch my treasures. Do not. Yes, yes, yes. Whatever you say, Your Majesty. Same proud little dragon queen as always. I walk through the castle gates as the first rays of sunlight paint the black stone walls with golden light. A new chapter is beginning, and far away on Silver Moon Peak, Serafina stands at a cliff edge, staring toward the black dragon fortress. She whispers my excuse back to herself. Throat injury. Voice problems. Her smile grows wider. Interesting. A silver dragon scale appears in her palm, showing a blurry figure inside it. Let me see. Who are you really? Could it be him? The silver light flashes and fades. I step through the barrier into the castle, and my jaw drops. The inside is far bigger than the outside, clearly enhanced with space magic. The walls are polished black obsidian, with purple magical veins running through them like glowing blood vessels. The ceiling stretches dozens of meters high, covered in tiny shadow crystals arranged like a night sky full of stars. In the center of the main hall sits a massive black dragon throne, shaped like a sleeping ancient dragon. Thick shadow mist rolls around its base like something alive. Never seen a proper dragon queen's palace before. Eluvia circles my head, not even trying to hide her pride. She shows me around, warning me never to lie on her throne because the shadow energy there would dissolve a human's bones in half an hour. My hand was already reaching for it when she said that. She leads me down a corridor to a room. This is where you will live. It is about 20 square meters. A stone bed covered in thick beast fur, a stone table with a clay pot and cup, and an empty, dusty bookshelf. Simple but comfortable. It used to be storage. I only cleaned it out so you would not dirty the rest of my fortress, she says, looking away, her tail swaying nervously. The room is clearly freshly tidied. I do not call her out on it. Thank you for the trouble, Your Majesty. Humph. Then I notice something. Her left wing root is bleeding. A fresh cut where scales have peeled back, showing raw pink flesh underneath. Dark golden blood drips steadily onto the stone floor. Your Majesty, your wing is bleeding. It is nothing. An old wound reopened during the flight. Dragon healing will fix it soon. I heard the scales crack when the rock spike hit you earlier. Come lie down and let me look at it. Who do you think you are, ordering a dragon queen around? I soften my tone immediately. Please, Your Majesty, let me check the wound. She grumbles but lands on the fur bed and lies down, turning her face toward the wall. A clear. I am only doing this because I am too lazy to argue. Pose. I ask where the medicine is. She tries to refuse treatment, but I point out that the wound is pulling on her tendon. If she does not wrap it, the tear will get worse next time she flies. She cannot argue with that. She quietly tells me where to find the ointment and bandages in her storage room. I fetch them and come back. She is still lying exactly where I left her, wings spread open, head stubbornly turned away. I sit beside her, open the ointment, and warn her it might sting. I have survived 4,000 years of battles. Swords, rocks, dragonfire. A tiny scratch like this could never. My finger touches the wound. Her entire body goes rigid. Her wing twitches, but she forces herself to relax. I work slowly, spreading the cool ointment along the edges of the cut, gently pressing it into the gaps between her scales. My warm fingertips and the cool medicine together. She keeps her face turned away the whole time, but her tail gives her away completely. It drags across the floor, drawing wild, messy circles. Every time I touch the wound, the circles get faster. When my finger accidentally brushes an uninjured scale near the wing root, the tail freezes, snaps to the side, then slowly creeps back, trying to look casual. The scales at the base of her neck start turning a faint pink, like ink bleeding into water. I cannot help it. The corner of my mouth twitches upward. What are you smiling at? She does not turn around, but her voice is tight. I am not smiling, I say, flattening my expression immediately. I am very focused on bandaging. Very serious. Liar, she mutters quietly, with no strength left to argue. I finish wrapping her wing, check that the bandage is snug but loose enough for movement, and give her a light pat on the back of her head. Like petting a little animal. She goes completely stiff. Who said you could pat my head? The back of a dragon's head is a private zone. I pretend not to hear and walk out the door to return the medicine. Going to put the supplies back? Luo Yi, get back here. I am not finished talking. I close the door behind me. Inside, I can imagine her burying her little face in her paws, scales flushed pink, grumbling to herself about how dare I touch her head and tell her not to fly. About an hour later, my stomach starts screaming at me. The last real food I ate was roasted boar back in the forest. After the Bear King attack, the beast stampede, and the overnight flight, everything I ate has long been burned through. I ask Eluvia if there is any food in the fortress. She lazily opens one eye. There is stuff in the storage room. Go look. I walk in and immediately understand the problem. The shelves are neatly organized with rows of magic cores sorted by element and rank, rare forging minerals, enchanted stones, and glowing gems. Beautiful, valuable, and completely inedible for a human. Not a single grain of rice, not a scrap of meat, not one piece of bread. Your Majesty, is it possible that, as a human, I cannot digest magic cores and rocks? Also, do dragons really eat these for meals? She flies to my shoulder, casually licking her claws, and answers as if I am the strange one. Magic cores contain pure elemental essence and mineral energy. They strengthen scales, enhance bloodlines, and boost cultivation. They are the finest dragon food. Your human bodies are just too weak to handle proper nutrition. She adds matter-of-factly that in thousands of years of living alone, she has never had a human visitor, so she simply never stocked human food. I put the mineral back on the shelf and sigh. I need to go outside and hunt something in the valley behind the castle. Her licking stops. She puts her paw down and tries to look dignified. The valley behind the castle has rabbits. Some low-level herbivore beasts, too. Their meat should be decent. I will go catch one. Now, it is dark. Night beasts are more active and visibility is terrible. I smile and head for the door. I am just catching rabbits, not fighting a Lord-class boss. I will be fine. Then I hear the sound of tiny wings behind me. I turn around. She is already flying ahead of me. When she notices me looking, she quickly faces forward and speaks without turning back. Do not misunderstand. The entire valley is my territory. Only I know where the beasts hide and where the traps are. If you wander around and get in trouble, I would have to waste energy rescuing you. I am simply supervising. Understood, official hunting supervisor. Do not make up titles for me. I look at her glowing golden eyes in the darkness and swallow my laugh. Thank you for coming along, Your Majesty. I am not coming along for your sake. Stupid, conceited human. The valley behind the castle is bigger than I expected. Steep cliffs on both sides, a winding stream shining silver in the moonlight, and thick bushes where I can already see rabbit tracks. I find a good spot with a clear view, crouch down, pull out my knife, and wait. A few minutes later, several gray-brown rabbits poke their heads out from the bushes, ears twitching, checking for danger. Once they feel safe, they start nibbling grass. I turn to Eluvia on my shoulder, and hold a finger to my lips. Eluvia tucks herself low on my shoulder and watches as I hunt. I throw my knife, a short blade I made from shadow panther fangs, and take down 2 rabbits with 2 clean throws. She flies around the catch and gives her verdict. Acceptable. Coming from her, that is high praise. She perches on a rock and watches me clean and prepare the meat. Her golden eyes follow my every move, her tail tapping a little rhythm on the stone. When I catch her staring, she instantly looks away at the scenery. I was evaluating human hunting techniques. I was not watching you specifically, sure. Back at the castle, I build a small stone fire pit on the outdoor platform. Soon the rabbit meat is sizzling over the flames, fat dripping into the coals, sending up sparks and a wonderful smell that drifts on the night wind. Eluvia sits on a rock 2 meters away, eyes closed, pretending to meditate like a proper dragon queen. But her little nostrils keep twitching, chasing the smell she is trying to ignore. I pull out a tiny bag of rough salt I collected from wild plants back in the forest. I sprinkle it over the golden, crispy skin. The salt melts into the meat and the aroma doubles. Her nostrils twitch faster. I tear off a leg and offer it to her. Want to try some, Your Majesty? She opens her eyes, looks at the steaming meat, looks at me, and turns her head away. I do not eat the flesh of low creatures. Dragon diets do not include such crude food. Really? I said no. Okay. More for me. I bite into it and moan with satisfaction. Crispy outside, juicy inside. The fat melts on my tongue with just a hint of salt. If only I had cumin and chili powder, this would be perfect. And a cold beer. Her tail tip twitches. I keep eating, making just enough happy noises. The wind keeps carrying the smell her way. Her tail twitches faster and faster. Then I hear it. A tiny, quiet gurgle from her direction. I slowly turn my head. She is sitting perfectly still, staring nobly at the distant mountains, as if that sound had absolutely nothing to do with her. But her claws are dug into the rock so hard they have left marks. Hey, what? Let me have a bite. I thought you said you do not eat this kind of food. I am doing you a favor, she snaps, flustered. You worked so hard cooking. It would be rude if I did not try at least one bite. I am being considerate of your feelings. Do not be ungrateful. I tear off another leg and hand it over. Thank you for the honor, Your Majesty. She takes it, sniffs it delicately, then bites. She chews. She swallows. She goes silent. It is good. I can see it on her face. Her eyes squeeze half shut with pleasure. This is the first time in thousands of years she has tasted seasoned, cooked meat. Dragons do not use spices. She has never experienced anything like salt on roasted food before. Is it good? I ask. She catches herself and forces her expression back to neutral. It is edible. Then she devours the entire leg at a speed that completely contradicts the word edible. When it is gone, she licks the grease from her lips, realizes that was not very queenly, and immediately puts on a serious face pretending nothing happened. I offer more. Want another piece? She hesitates for half a second. Since you are inviting me so sincerely, I will do you one more favor. That night, she does me 4 favors total. I look at the pile of clean bones, then at the half-empty roasting rack, then at the little black dragon casually grooming her claws as if she barely ate anything. I add a new note to my mental file. Black Dragon Queen. Loves roasted meat. Will never admit it. Late at night, after a hot spring bath and a change into clean clothes Eluvia somehow found for me, I lie down on the fur-covered stone bed. It has been an insane day. Bear King, Flying Beast Army, Silver Dragon Queen, overnight flight. I close my eyes to sleep. Then I hear tiny claws tapping on stone outside my door. It opens a crack. A small black dragon head peeks in. Are you asleep? Not yet. What is it, Your Majesty? She hops onto the stone stool across from my bed, wraps her tail around herself, and settles in like she plans to stay a while. Serafina looked at you strangely today. Not the way you look at a stranger. My heart skips. I keep my face calm. Maybe she was just curious about the Dragon Knight thing. It was not curiosity. Her voice is firm. I have known her for thousands of years. She does not look at people that way. I cannot exactly tell her the truth. Hey, I once spent 2 months winning your friend's heart, and then ghosted her when I could not get a Dragon Knight class from her. Would get me incinerated on the spot. So I go with a half-truth. I have visited dragon territories before during my adventures. Maybe we crossed paths once. But someone at her level would never remember an ordinary human. She taps her tail on the floor, thinking. That makes sense, I suppose. But she said she wants to meet again. That is just polite small talk. Like when humans say, let us have dinner sometime. Nobody actually means it. Her tail stops tapping. She looks straight at me with those golden eyes, and her voice turns awkward in a way I have never heard before. If you see her again, would you leave with her? I am caught off guard. Then I smile. Your Majesty, we have a life and death contract. If you live, I live. How could I possibly leave with someone else? Her ear scales flush pink. She turns away. I was only worried she would find out about our contract terms and make fun of me. I do not care whether you leave or not. Of course, Your Majesty. What? Is that tone? No tone at all. There is definitely a tone. We bicker back and forth until she whips my arm with her tail, jumps off the stool, and marches toward the door. Go to sleep. There are important things to do tomorrow. What things? You will find out when the time comes. She disappears down the hallway. I lie back and check the system. Her affection is at 55. The note says she has started caring about how I act around other female dragons. She has not figured out the name for this feeling yet, but her instincts are already on alert. Affection and jealousy rising together. This dragon queen does not even realize whose jealousy she is feeling. I close the panel, roll over, and start to relax. Then a quiet voice drifts from behind me. So, why was your heart beating so fast when you saw Serafina? I freeze solid. I turn slowly. Eluvia is sitting on a cabinet by the door, golden eyes locked onto me like a predator. I came back because something felt wrong. Were you lying to me? Our soul link told me your heartbeat spiked the moment you saw her. I stare at the ceiling. I forgot about the soul link. She can feel my heartbeat. She felt it race the instant I recognized Serafina. I am so dead. While I lie in the dragon fortress dealing with Eluvia's questions about Serafina, 1,000 miles away in the capital, my family is receiving the news. The holy capital of the human empire sits at the heart of the continent, surrounded by massive enchanted walls. Inside, society is divided into strict layers: the royal palace, the noble district, the commoner markets, and the outer mercenary quarter. My family's estate, the Violet Duke's mansion, stands at the very center of the noble district, the largest and most prestigious property in the area. Its stone walls are covered in deep purple-violet vines that bloom year-round, soaked in our family's ancestral magic. This morning, the entire household is tense. Servants tiptoe, guards whisper, no one dares make a sound. My father, Duke Raymond, sits in his carved chair, silver shoulder clasps gleaming, his weathered noble face hard as stone. He holds a military intelligence report that arrived at dawn. He has read it more than 10 times. The report says, Duke Raymond's second son, Luo Yi, was taken by the ancient black dragon during the final phase of the dragon-slaying battle at Eternal Night Rift. His whereabouts are unknown. Status: life or death uncertain. My father sees right through the lies. The gold-armored commander wrote this report to cover up the army's failure. Thousands of elite fighters could not kill one wounded dragon queen, and now they need someone to blame. I am not there to defend myself, so I am the perfect scapegoat. His mind drifts back 10 years. I was 8 years old, small and skinny, standing at the front gate of our mansion with a huge backpack stuffed with dry food and adventure tools. I looked up at him and said, Father, I am leaving the capital. I am going to explore the world. He laughed and patted my head. When you are older and stronger, you can go wherever you want. The next morning, my room was empty. On the desk sat a single note. I went adventuring. Do not worry about me. I will become the strongest adventurer. Luo Yi. I was 8. No guards, no money, alone in a world full of monsters. My father stood in front of that note for a very long time, but he did not send anyone after me. As the second son, I had no obligation to inherit the title, and he knew, even then, that a child who could slip past every guard in the mansion without being noticed was not someone who would die easily. 10 years passed. I barely came home. I sent short letters through the Adventurers Guild network, sometimes with a monster scale or a magic core tucked inside, never saying where I was or what dangers I faced. Just proof that I was alive. Now my father hands the report to my mother. She is gentle and graceful, still beautiful in her 40s, and she is worried about me every single day for 10 years. She reads 2 lines, and her fingers crush the paper. Her lips go white. Her eyes turn red. She presses her hand over her mouth, fighting back tears. That little troublemaker, she whispers, her voice shaking. He ran away from home at 8 years old, saying he wanted to explore the world. For 10 years I thought he was already dead out there somewhere. And now they tell me he was captured by a dragon? Life or death unknown. While I am in the dragon fortress, events are unfolding 1,000 miles away that I know nothing about yet. My father, Duke Raymond, sits in the main hall of our family estate, reading the military report over and over. He is no fool. He sees through every word. The report says I was captured by the Black Dragon, status unknown, but he knows the military's rules. If they had found a body, they would have written, killed in action. Writing, life or death uncertain, means they have no idea where I am. It means I am alive. But the report also frames me as someone who sided with the dragon, who blocked the army's pursuit and helped the Black Dragon Queen escape. The words, suspected collusion with dragonkind, are a death sentence for our entire family. In the Empire, working with dragons is the highest crime, enough to destroy a 600-year noble bloodline. My father slams his fist on the table so hard the teacups jump. What did that boy do to attract a dragon's attention? The old butler mentions that battlefield witnesses are whispering I approached the Black Dragon willingly, that I may have been secretly working with dragons for a long time. Nonsense, my father roars. He left home at 8 years old. He knows nothing about politics or the history between humans and dragons. This is the military scapegoating my son to cover their failure. He is angry, but he is also sharp. He knows the king could use these rumors to strip our family of everything. My mother sits quietly, clutching the crumpled report in her hands, eyes red. I just need to know one thing. Is my son alive? My father cannot answer. He orders every spy, every contact, every merchant network the family controls to investigate the full truth of what happened at the Eternal Night Rift. No expense spared. Meanwhile, across the palace, in a sunlit side chamber filled with white roses, Princess Ailina receives the same news. She is 17 or 18, golden-haired, porcelain-skinned, perfectly elegant. But beneath the royal polish she is cold and detached, bored by court life, parties, and politics. When her maid whispers that I have been taken by a dragon and am likely dead, the princess freezes for a moment. Then the corner of her mouth curls upward in a smile she cannot quite hide. She catches herself instantly, forces her expression into one of graceful sadness, and delivers a proper line of royal sympathy. How tragic! Young Lord Luo Yi was so promising. What a terrible fate! But behind the teacup she lifts to her lips, her eyes are bright with barely contained joy. Because since the day she was born, the king arranged a marriage contract between her and me, the second son of the Violet Duke. She has been labeled my fiancée her entire life without ever having a say in it. And now, she thinks, that chain has finally been broken. Back in the capital, there is someone else receiving news about me, Princess Ailina. She is my fiancée, though we have never met. The king and my father arranged the marriage before she was even old enough to understand what it meant. She has hated this arrangement her entire life. At 10, she smashed a crystal vase when she learned about it. At 12, she flipped a table when noble girls mocked her for being engaged to a worthless wastrel. At 13, she locked herself in her room for a full day without food when the king publicly announced the engagement could not be canceled. By 14, she stopped fighting and just went numb. For years, she pretended I did not exist. The entire noble circle learned never to mention my name around her. Now, when her maid tells her I was taken by a dragon and am probably dead, she cannot stop smiling. She tries to look sad and says the proper sympathetic words, but her feet are practically dancing across the carpet. She pulls out the marriage contract documents and starts reviewing the cancellation procedures. Every tedious legal step looks beautiful to her today, because each one leads to her freedom. She orders a condolence gift sent to my parents, sips her tea, and thinks life has never tasted so sweet. She has no idea that her supposedly dead fiancé is living with a dragon queen right now. And someday soon, I am going to show up again in a way she never expects. Meanwhile, back in the dragon fortress, I am sitting on my bed, sweating under Eluvia's interrogation. She sits on the stone stool across from me, tiny body perfectly straight, golden eyes drilling into me without blinking. So you are saying your heart raced when you saw Seraphina purely because you were nervous meeting a powerful ancient dragon for the first time? Exactly, I say, keeping my face perfectly calm and honest. Pure awe and nervousness. That is all. Her tail taps the stone in a slow rhythm. Then she strikes at the weak point. You claim seeing another dragon queen makes you nervous. Fine. But back in the canyon, when the entire army's attack was falling on us and you were about to die, you ran straight toward me, shielded me with your body, and signed a life-and-death contract without hesitation. You were not nervous then? I open my mouth. Nothing comes out. I recover and try a longer explanation. I was nervous in the canyon too. I tell her. Thousands of soldiers, legendary mages, certain death. Of course my heart was pounding. But meeting a living, breathing dragon queen from legend up close, that is a different kind of shock, like a normal person suddenly seeing a mythical creature in the flesh. Excitement, awe, and nerves all tangled together. A fast heartbeat is a perfectly normal physical reaction. She considers this for a long time. That is not completely unreasonable. You barely pass. I start to relax. But I still feel like you are not telling the truth. My heart tightens again. I have no proof, she says, her golden eyes complicated and serious. But my instincts tell me there is something between you and Seraphina that I do not know about. I try to speak, but she is already standing up. Forget it. If you do not want to tell me, I will not force you. But remember this, Seraphina is not easy to fool. She has lived 5,000 years. She has seen more schemes than humans have eaten grains of salt. Whatever you are hiding from her, she will find out eventually. She jumps off the stool and walks toward the door without looking back. I am going to sleep. You should rest too. But you had better not be lying to me. Her thin black tail disappears around the door frame, and her footsteps fade into silence. While I lie in the dragon fortress trying to sleep after barely surviving Eluvia's interrogation, I have no idea what is happening on Silver Moon Peak, far to the north of the continent. But if I did, it would terrify me more than any boss monster. Seraphina stands alone on the edge of her crystal palace, built from moonstone and ancient silver dragon scales, floating above an ocean of clouds. She holds a special dragon scale in her hand, one that stores old memories like a recording device. The image it shows is me. Years ago, I remember that day clearly. I had spent weeks breaking through layer after layer of magical barriers protecting Silver Moon Peak, climbing the sacred mountain on foot, alone. When I finally reached the top, I knelt before the Silver Dragon Queen and said the words I had rehearsed. I want to become your dragon knight. She was surprised. Nobody had dared ask a dragon queen for a knight contract in over 3,000 years. She told me later that she was actually moved by the fire in my eyes, not by my strength, which was nothing to her, but by my pure determination. But she did not say yes. She said she needed time to think about it, that a soul contract was not something to decide lightly. I heard, I need time to consider, and understood it as a polite rejection. So I nodded, said, sorry for the trouble, stood up, and walked away. I did not look back. What I did not realize was that, I need to think about it, was not the same as, no. She actually meant she wanted to test me first, to see if I was worthy. She expected me to come back in a few days. I never came back. 1 day passed, then 2, then a month, then half a year. She sent silver dragons to search for me, but I had used a fake name, Xiao Yin, and there were dozens of adventurers with that name across the continent. None matched me. I had vanished like smoke. For 5,000 years, no one had ever walked away from her like that. She was the Silver Dragon Queen. People begged for her attention, and this random human boy proposed the most sacred bond imaginable, then left before she could even properly respond. It wounded her pride deeply, and it stuck with her. Now, years later, her old friend Eluvia, the proudest dragon queen alive, has actually signed a dragon knight contract. And the knight showed up wearing a mask and a fake voice, calling himself, Sure How. Seraphina looks at the memory in her dragon scale. The masked man's body shape overlaps about 80% with the boy she remembers. His eyes, the only part of his face she could see, are the exact same shape, color, and have the same habit of narrowing slightly when looking at someone. The only difference is the voice. The boy she knew had a clear, warm, youthful tone. Sure How sounded rough and broken, like someone with a damaged throat. But she knows that if that boy came back and did not want to be recognized, Faking his voice would be the obvious first move. Throat injury. Voice problems, she whispers to herself, her smile growing wider. Interesting. On Silver Moon Peak, Seraphina is piecing everything together. She knows that a man who covers his face and fakes his voice when meeting another dragon queen is either hiding a dangerous secret or hiding from someone he recognizes. And the panic she saw flash in my eyes was not the caution of meeting a stranger. It was the guilt of running into someone I hoped never to see again. She notices something else too. The fake names I use, Xiao Yin, back then, and Sure How, now, seem to follow a pattern, a habit she finds amusing. She does not know why I disguised myself or pretended not to know her. But she has all the time in the world. She knows I cannot keep the act up forever. Someday I will slip up. And when I do, she plans to ask the one question that has bothered her for years. Why did I leave so fast? Back in the fortress, I lie on my bed staring at the ceiling, and the full weight of my situation hits me. The soul link. I completely overlooked it. Our life and death contract connects our souls both ways. Eluvia can feel my heartbeat in real time. She felt it spike the instant I saw Seraphina. She can tell the difference between fear and other kinds of excitement. She can sense exactly when and why my heart races. I can fake my expressions. I can control my words. But I cannot fake my heartbeat. I bury my face in my pillow and groan. I should have been more careful when I was pursuing Seraphina years ago. No, I should never have gone around chasing every beautiful female character on the continent in the first place. But it is too late for regrets. I need a plan. Eluvia is suspicious but has no proof. Her instincts are sharp, though, and she has known Seraphina for thousands of years. Meanwhile, Seraphina almost certainly recognized me and is choosing not to reveal it yet, watching to see how long I can keep pretending. I open my system panel. My stats have grown, level 15, affection with Eluvia at 55, dragon power usage at 20%. But at the bottom of the screen, a new warning flashes in red. High danger alert. Multiple cross-species bonds detected. Dragon interpersonal conflict escalating. Dual dragon queen bonds on collision course. High probability of identity exposure, contract rupture, dragon queen confrontation, and cross-faction war. Proceed with extreme caution. I pull the blanket over my head. When in doubt, just go to sleep. This game is way too hard. Why are all the female characters so impossible to deal with? The next morning on Silver Moon Peak, Seraphina makes her decision. She calls a silver dragon attendant and announces, calm as ever, prepare my things. I am visiting the Eternal Night Dragon Fortress. The attendant's jaw nearly drops. In 5,000 years, the Silver Dragon Queen has never once voluntarily set foot in Black Dragon territory. The Silver and Black Dragon clans barely tolerate each other. Eluvia always came to her when there was conflict, never the other way around. The attendant tries to warn her. Eluvia is wounded and paranoid right now. An uninvited visit could spark a war between the two clans. Seraphina turns slowly, morning light catching her silver eyes. She smiles, and beneath the elegant surface there is something sharp and calculating. I am simply visiting Eluvia to check on her injuries after the battle. Perfectly reasonable. She pauses, letting the moment hang. And while I am there, I would like to see for myself what kind of human dragon knight could make the proudest, most man-hating dragon queen in history willingly bind her soul and keep him under her personal protection. On Silver Moon Peak, Seraphina prepares her trap. She studies the memory in her dragon scale one more time. The masked man's posture, his relaxed shoulder habits, the way he stands, all overlap almost perfectly with the boy who came to her years ago. The fake names, Xiao Yin and Sure How, follow the same lazy naming style. Same careless pattern, same person. She goes to her private vault and takes out a crystal bottle wrapped in silver dragon thread. Inside is moonlight nectar, the rarest healing medicine the silver dragon race possesses. It takes 50 years to brew. Even dragon elders can barely get any. No outsider has ever received a single drop. Her plan is simple and brilliant. Her dragon knight friend claims he has a throat injury, right? So she will bring this medicine as a gift. It can cure any throat wound perfectly. If he uses it, his voice will heal and she will hear his real voice. If he refuses to use it, that proves the injury was fake all along. Either way, she wins. She places the bottle in a small wooden gift box, smiles, and whispers, "Are you ready for me?" Meanwhile, I spend the entire night trapped in nightmares. In my dreams, Serafina rips off my mask right in front of Eluvia and tells her everything. Both dragon queens corner me, their pressure crushing me from both sides, demanding answers. Then more familiar faces appear, one after another, all the women I pursued across the continent, surrounding me, all asking the same wounded question. You said I was the only one. I wake up drenched in cold sweat. I lie there for 3 full minutes, staring at the ceiling, trying to slow my heartbeat. This situation is impossible. I should never have gone around chasing every beautiful character on this continent. This game's difficulty is insane, but regret changes nothing. I need a plan. Eluvia did not believe my excuse last night. Rather than wait for her to keep pushing until I crack, I decide to go to her first and confess a small, harmless piece of the truth, just enough to ease her suspicion. I wash up, put on the clean clothes she left for me, dark fabric with faint black dragon patterns, and walk to the main hall. Eluvia is curled up on top of the dragon throne sculpture in the sunlight, tiny wings spread open like little black fans soaking up warmth, her tail dangling over the edge and swaying gently. She looks like a black cat sunbathing. Nothing about this scene says, "Terrifying ruler of the abyss." I clear my throat. "Your Majesty, I want to talk about last night." She opens one golden eye, the other still sleepily shut. Talk about what? I take a breath to start my carefully prepared speech, and then the sky splits open. A wave of magical energy washes over the fortress. Clean, cold, bright as moonlight, completely unlike the dark shadow energy of this place. Someone is cutting through the outer barrier at high speed, heading straight for us. No hostility, but overwhelmingly powerful. Every hair on my body stands up. I know this energy signature. Cool as moonlight, sharp as ice water. Serafina is here. The instant I feel that silver energy, Eluvia snaps awake on her throne. All sleepiness vanishes. She launches off the sculpture, lands on my shoulder, and wraps her tail around my neck. Not tight enough to hurt, but the message is crystal clear, mine. Serafina? What is she doing here? Eluvia hisses. Silver dragons have nothing better to do? I stroke her back gently. Maybe she is just passing through. Passing through? From Silver Moon Peak to here? Does she think I am a 3-year-old dragon? Fair point. I do not believe it either. A polite knock of magic energy taps the outer barrier. Eluvia grudgingly opens a narrow gap, just enough for one person, no attendants allowed. We walk out to meet her. There she is on the landing platform, silver-white robe, moonlight hair flowing in the morning breeze, a small wooden gift box in her hand, sunrise glowing behind her. She looks like a goddess stepping out of the moon. And today she has clearly put in extra effort. Perfectly curled hair, a silver brooch at her collar, even a faint shimmer on her lips. Every alarm in my head goes off at once. "We meet again, Mr. Dragon Knight," she says with an elegant smile. Then she turns to Eluvia. "Not going to welcome me? No? Go home," Eluvia says flatly. "Then I will definitely stay." Serafina walks right past us into the main hall, as if she owns the place, her silver hair brushing past me, leaving a trail of cool floral scent. Eluvia and I exchange a look. Her eyes say, "What does she want?" Mine say, "I have no idea." Hers narrow, "You better really not know." I blink innocently. I swear I do not. Serafina admires the hall casually, critiques the lighting, then sits on a stone bench and opens her gift box. Inside, nestled on silver silk, sits a crystal bottle filled with glowing silver liquid that swirls like it is alive. Even with the cap sealed, a sweet fragrance fills the entire hall. "Moonlight nectar," she announces. "Made from a flower that blooms once every 300 years, mixed with ancient silver dragon scale powder, brewed over 50 years. It heals old injuries perfectly, especially." She pauses and looks directly at me with playful silver eyes. "Throat injuries. Would you like to try some right now, Mr. Dragon Knight?" My back breaks into a cold sweat instantly. She is not letting this go. If I drink it and my voice does not change, the fake injury is exposed. If I refuse a priceless medicine for no good reason, that is just as suspicious. Out of the corner of my eye, I see Eluvia's tail drawing slow, uneven circles on the stone floor. Her face is ice cold and unreadable, but all her hidden emotions are pouring into that tale. I keep my expression perfectly neutral. Thank you for your kindness, but my throat injury has been recovering well these past few days. It is nearly healed. I would not want to waste such precious medicine. Really? Serafina tilts her head, smile deepening, not backing off 1 inch. But last night your voice was still very hoarse, and now it is completely healed overnight? You should at least try a little. The effects are remarkable. It prevents any lingering damage. Really, I do not need it, I insist. Serafina sighs and sets the box on the table. Then I will leave it here for when you need it. Before I can breathe, Eluvia rockets off her perch, lands on the table, and snatches the box like she is confiscating enemy weapons. Outside, dragon medicine. Unknown origin. I will inspect it for poison and curses first. Serafina just smiles. Still paranoid about everything, I see. Especially paranoid about you, Eluvia shoots back. They trade a few more jabs, but then Serafina mentions something that cracks Eluvia's armor just slightly. Years ago, when Eluvia was wounded in the Abyss battlefield, it was Serafina who sent a jar of moonlight nectar to heal her. Eluvia's tail freezes mid-swing. Her hostility drops a fraction. Ancient history, she mutters. No reason to bring it up. Then I am standing between 2 dragon queens, and the air feels like it could shatter. Golden eyes on my left, silver eyes on my right, both locked on me. Serafina asks if she can stay and look around. Before I can answer, Eluvia says, "He minds." Serafina smiles and asks me directly. I glance at Eluvia, whose tail is screaming, "Say yes and you die." Then at Serafina, who looks completely certain she already knows what I will choose. I follow my queen's decision, I say carefully. Eluvia's tail curls with satisfaction. Serafina raises an eyebrow. So obedient. Interesting, she stays anyway. She walks around the hall criticizing everything. The old rune patterns, the bad crystal angles, the lighting. Eluvia finally snaps. "Did you come to do a renovation assessment?" Then Serafina asks my name again, pretending she forgot. I know she did not forget. "Sure, how?" I repeat. She rolls the name around slowly. "Nice name. Very. Powerful. The way she says it makes my skin crawl." Then she gets to her real move. She pushes the medicine box toward me again. "Are you sure you will not try it? It is perfect for throat injuries." I start to refuse. She stands up smoothly, slides the box closer to my hand, and as she pulls her fingers away, her fingertip grazes the back of my hand. The touch is lighter than moonlight, gone in less than a second. My heart skips a beat and then pounds like a war drum. It is not my fault. Any human would react to sudden physical contact. It is pure reflex. But the soul link does not care about excuses. It sends my spiking heartbeat straight to Eluvia in real time. The temperature in the hall drops instantly. Behind me, I hear the thin, horrible sound of dragon claws slowly scraping into stone. I do not dare turn around. The system tells me Eluvia's affection just rose to 57, but her jealousy is through the roof. She carved a 3-centimeter deep scratch into the stone with her claws. The system warns me the room temperature has dropped below comfortable and recommends I take immediate calming action before entering Dual Dragon Battlefield mode. I take the box stiffly. "Thank you, Silver Dragon Queen. You are welcome." Serafina sits back down, perfectly composed, but deep in her silver eyes I catch a flash of satisfaction. Then the system shows me something that makes my blood run cold. Serafina's affection, 40 to 50. The note reads, "Touch test highly successful. Confirmed target has clear physical reaction to her contact. Accelerated heartbeat, disrupted breathing, pupil contraction." Silver Dragon Queen's suspicion is now at critical level. I am trapped between 2 ancient dragon queens. One is my contract partner whose jealousy is literally carving trenches in stone. The other is a 5,000-year-old huntress who just confirmed I react to her touch and is now more certain than ever that I am the man who ran away from her years ago. Noon arrives and Serafina shows no sign of leaving. She lounges on the stone bench like she lives here, completely relaxed in a fortress that belongs to her rival of several thousand years. Eluvia is fuming on her throne, firing laser beam glares at me every few seconds, all saying the same thing: get rid of her. I cannot look back. I cannot kick out the woman who holds all my secrets. And I cannot upset the Dragon Queen who is literally monitoring my heartbeat. I am pinned between 2 impossibles. Eluvia finally snaps. When are you leaving? Nobody wants you here. What is the rush? Serafina swirls her tea lazily. At least let me stay for lunch. I skipped breakfast. Before Eluvia can refuse, I jump in. I will go prepare some food. Anything to escape this suffocating standoff. Serafina turns to me with a glint of surprise. You can cook now? Now? She said, now. As if she knew me before, when I could not cook. I am already speed-walking toward the exit. A little, I mutter and flee the hall. Up on the throne, Eluvia catches that word too. Now, she tilts her head. Why would the Silver Dragon Queen say, now? As if she already knew whether he could cook before. That is a strange word choice. She shakes her head hard, tail slapping the stone twice. No, impossible. Serafina is just being her usual prickly self. She could not possibly know a random human. There is no connection. None. What are you thinking about? Serafina calls up to her sweetly. None of your business. Eluvia fires back. But somewhere deep inside, something itches. She pushes it down. The moment I step outside into the valley and take a breath of fresh air, the relief lasts exactly 1 second. Then Eluvia's voice explodes through our soul link. You told me your heart races around dragon queens because of awe and respect. Normal nervousness. So explain why your heart completely lost its rhythm when she barely touched your hand. Answer me. I spear a fat rabbit by the stream with one clean thrust and wince internally. Answer me, you idiot knight. She touched the back of your hand, and your heart went crazy like you just fought a boss. Explain. I crouch down to skin the rabbit and scramble for an excuse. Your Majesty, when human skin suddenly contacts a cold surface, the nervous system triggers an involuntary stress response. The irregular heartbeat is a purely physical reflex and does not mean. So what you are saying, she cuts in, her voice dropping a degree colder, is that my body temperature is too hot, and you prefer her because she is cooler? You like cold ones better. My knife stops mid-cut. What kind of logic is that? I surrender with a sigh and soften my voice. Your Majesty, your body temperature is always perfect. 10 silver dragon queens could not compare to one of you. 2 seconds of silence through the link. Then a muffled, nasal, humph. I cannot tell if the anger is fading or building. I let out a breath and hurry to finish preparing the rabbit, dreading the minefield waiting for me back inside. In the main hall, Eluvia curls on her throne, tail slowly swishing, staring at her own crossed claws. Something about what I just said feels off, but she cannot quite figure out what. Is that idiot dragon knight flirting with me? She wonders. She shakes her head. Whatever. He cannot run away. I will interrogate him more when he gets back. I come back with 2 skinned rabbits and wild herbs. The stone grill outside is already hot. I thread the meat on iron skewers, sprinkle my homemade mineral salt, and let the fat drip into the coals. The smell of roasted meat and herbs drifts through the fortress. Eluvia's little nose twitches first. She is pretending she is not hungry, but her tail's tapping speed doubles the moment the aroma hits her. Serafina sits perfectly composed, as if food means nothing to her. I carry the roasted meat and a pot of herb soup into the main hall. The 2 dragon queens are still in their standoff positions, one high, one low, gazes crossing like invisible swords. I set everything on the center table, step back 3 paces, and turn myself into a human potted plant. No eye contact, no opinions, no involvement in any gender warfare. Why did you make a portion for her too? Eluvia eyes the plates, swallowing involuntarily. She is a guest. We are the hosts. It is only proper, I say, siding with my little black dragon. Serafina tears off a small piece of rabbit with elegant, royal manners, chews slowly, then stops. Her silver eyes soften. She swallows and sighs with genuine appreciation. This is actually quite good. She tries the soup. Also good. The herbs remove the gamey smell and warm the throat. Then she turns to Eluvia with a teasing smile. You really found a treasure. Good-looking, strong fighter, sharp mind. And he cooks well too. Where did you find such a perfect contract knight? I want one. The chill on my neck tells me exactly what is coming. He is my dragon knight. Eluvia's voice drips with possessiveness. Not yours. You will never find one. Give up. I know he is yours. Serafina stirs her soup casually. I was just stating facts. Looks, combat skills, cooking, all real strengths. Is a simple compliment not allowed? You can compliment him, but not in such detail. Oh? Then next time I will keep it short. Your night's food is edible. Happy now? Being this petty is unbecoming of a queen. You know, Eluvia opens her mouth to fire back, realizes that getting angry just proves Serafina right, and clamps her jaw shut. Her tail smacks the stone in frustration. She cannot find a single good comeback. I keep my head down and drink my soup. I see nothing, hear nothing, say nothing. Then Serafina sets down her cup and looks at me. When did you form the soul contract with Eluvia? A few days ago. A few days ago. On that battlefield where thousands of hunters were trying to kill a dragon queen. Yes, she studies me through her cup. I heard you were very brave. You blocked the pursuers alone and bought her time to escape. A courageous knight indeed. That word makes Eluvia's head snap up. She stares at Serafina, then at me, then back at Serafina, clearly calculating whether she can physically throw this woman out. Then she remembers she is injured and cannot beat her. Her tail slams the stone once in angry defeat. It was just the right thing to do at the time, I mumble. Just the right thing? Serafina sets down her cup, a sharp glint in her silver eyes. Shielding someone with your body in a death trap takes more than just courage. And to break through the defenses of a dragon queen who trusts no one, who is at her most suspicious and vulnerable, and convince her to bind her soul to a human. She pauses, looks at me, then up at Eluvia, her smile deepening. It seems you do not just have bravery. You have a real talent for winning over a dragon's heart. My insides tighten, but I keep my face blank. What are you getting at? Eluvia cuts in coldly from above. Nothing malicious, Serafina shrugs. I am genuinely curious. The Dragon Knight contract has been extinct for over 3,000 years. I never thought I would see one again. So I really want to know, what exactly did you do to convince the most guarded dragon queen alive to bind her soul to a human like you? I cannot think of a safe answer to Serafina's question. I can hardly say. I knelt down and said pretty words and she agreed, even though that is basically what happened. Maybe I showed up at the right time, in the right place, and said the right words. I manage. Right time, right place, right words, she repeats, then smiles. What an interesting answer. She does not push further, but her eyes say she is still calculating. I sit between two dragon queens, staring at my plate, praying this meal will end. But Serafina eats in slow motion. Every bite chewed 15 times. Every spoonful of soup blown on 3 times. She is stretching every second on purpose, and I cannot say a word about it. Then she crosses her legs, and her foot brushes against my shin under the table. Light, deliberate, cool as moonlight. I flinch. My spoon hits the bowl with a loud clink. Soup splashes onto the table. What happened? Eluvia's head snaps up instantly. I freeze for half a second. Nothing. The soup was hot. She studies my face, glances at the spilled soup, then settles back down with a quiet. Oh. Across the table, Serafina lifts her soup bowl to her lips, hiding everything below her eyes, which are curved into perfect crescents of amusement. She says nothing. She does not need to. I slide my chair back 2 inches, press my legs together, and seal off every possible contact point under the table. She absolutely did that on purpose. The system updates hit me like punches. Eluvia's affection rises to 59, but the note says she has mentally constructed an entire secret love story between me and Serafina spanning centuries. The system suggests I sleep with my eyes open tonight. Serafina's affection climbs to 52. Her note says she is thoroughly enjoying this cat-and-mouse game, and flirting in front of her rival makes it even more thrilling. I am going to die between these two. The agonizing afternoon crawls by. When the sun finally turns orange, Serafina stands and announces she is leaving. I nearly collapse with relief. She walks to the barrier, then stops and half turns. Sunset paints a golden line along her profile. She looks across the hall at me. Thank you for the hospitality, Mr. Dragon Knight. I enjoyed myself very much today. Then she glances at Eluvia. Cherish your night, Eluvia. In these dangerous times, a human willing to die for you is 1 in a million. I do not need your fake concern. Eluvia snaps, her tail cracking against the stone. Serafina's gaze drifts back to me one last time. I look forward to our next meeting. She pauses for half a beat, then adds with unmistakable emphasis, oh, I mean, Mr. Sure how? My back tightens. She knows. She definitely knows. Before Eluvia can explode, Serafina drops one final bomb. And stop hiding that wine on the second shelf. Third cabinet, bottom row. Next time I visit, I am drinking that bottle. Then her eyes find mine one more time, and all the playfulness vanishes. Her voice goes quiet and serious, meant only for me. Take care of your injuries. She steps through the barrier, erupts into silver light, and streaks across the sky until she disappears beyond the clouds. The hall falls completely silent. All that tension, gone in an instant. I slump in my chair and exhale for what feels like the first time in hours. Then I turn toward the throne. Eluvia has her back to me. She is curled into a tiny ball on the dragon sculpture's paw, wings folded tight against her body, their edges trembling faintly. Her tail hangs over the edge, completely still. Not swinging, not tapping, not curling. Just frozen. She is not angry. She is hurt. I know all her moods by now. When she is angry and jealous, her tail thrashes and slams the stone. But right now she is completely still. That is 10 times worse than anger. I walk closer, unsure what to say. After a long silence, she speaks, her voice low and flat. Every time she touched you, your heart sped up. I open my mouth, but nothing comes out. I have used the reflex reaction excuse too many times today. She is young in dragon years, but she is not stupid. She is a 4,000-year-old queen who chooses when to call out my lies and when to let them slide. You do not need to explain, she says. Her tail flicks toward me once, then pulls back. I know you did not mean anything by it, but I hate her touching you. I really hate it. I crouch down to her eye level. I promise, next time she tries to get close, I will dodge immediately. She will not get a chance to touch me. Really? Suspicion fills her golden eyes. Really? What if she reaches for your face? I will lean away. Your hand? I will step back. What if she, your majesty? I interrupt with a laugh. If we go through every scenario, we will be up all night. Her ear scales burn red. She turns away. I am not worried about you. I just do not like that old silver woman taking advantage of my dragon knight. Of course, your majesty. I let her save face, then smoothly change the subject. You know, since we made our contract, I have only seen your mini form and your battle form. I have never seen your human shape. She freezes completely. Her tail stops mid-swing, stuck in the air for 2 full seconds. Why are you asking that? Her voice jumps half an octave. All the earlier sadness gone, replaced by pure flustered panic. Just curious. Seraphina can take human form. You are a dragon queen too, so you must be able to. I have always wondered what you look like. Her ear scales go from pink to deep red. Even the gaps between her neck scales flush with heat. You were just talking about dodging her touches. How do you jump topics this badly? I keep a straight face. It is not a jump. My heart raced at lunch because I saw Seraphina's human form and started imagining what yours looks like. That is what the soul link picked up. She stares at me, tail frozen in an S shape, trying to process this logic. Finally, she manages. That makes absolutely no sense. It is the truth. I would have to be insane to believe that. She whips her head away, tail cracking against the stone. Dragon human forms are only shown during. Anyway, they are not something you just show people, but we are contract partners. Life and death. Just one look? And oh, she opens her little mouth and blasts me with a puff of mini dragon breath. It is barely warm enough to heat your fingers, but it hits me square in the face and leaves me covered in black soot from forehead to chin. Question rejected, you idiot knight. I reach up and touch my face. Pure black ash. Every inch. She stares at my blackened face for 2 seconds, then completely loses it. She rolls around on the throne laughing, wings flapping, tail bouncing high. All queenly dignity gone. Just pure, delighted, girlish joy. Your face. Ha 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 ha. I wipe my cheek and watch her laugh so hard she almost falls off the sculpture. Even though I look ridiculous, seeing her this happy after the miserable day she had feels completely worth it. Are you done laughing, your majesty? Not yet. Ha ha ha. I shake my head and head to the hot spring to wash up. Her laughter chases me down the corridor. When I come back, she is sitting properly again, calm and composed. Her eyes are soft and warm, all the jealousy washed away. Done laughing, She looks away, tail tip curling upward. You are actually kind of fun to be around. I seize the opening. So will you consider showing me your human form? Absolutely not. Not even a little, no. What if I trade you roasted meat for it? Her tail stops. Her eyes shift, like she is doing math in her head. A pause. Then her voice loses some of its firmness. How many meals? My heart soars, but my face stays calm. 10. No, 20. She whips around, eyes huge. I am a dragon, you idiot knight. You cannot just bribe a dragon queen with roasted meat. A stronger burst of dragon breath builds in Eluvia's throat. I raise my hands to protect my face, bracing for another blast. But she swallows it. Instead, her tail whips across my forehead with a perfect crack as she rockets off my shoulder and vanishes down the corridor toward the hot springs without a single word. I stand there rubbing my forehead, completely unable to figure out what just happened. Her nose was bright red when she left. For 1,000 years old, and she swallowed her dragon breath, slapped me with her tail, and ran away. She forgot to hide her blushing ears. She really is just an overgrown kid, is she not? I sigh and give up trying to decode the Black Dragon Queen. That evening, I soak in the private hot spring behind the fortress. The mineral water has dragon healing properties and works slowly on my old wounds. I close my eyes and try to enjoy the quiet. Then the soul link activates. Eluvia's voice comes through, formal and commanding. Starting tomorrow, I am entering closed-door recovery. I will descend into the Dragon Source Hall underground to heal the damage from the canyon battle and rebuild my power. During this time, I will narrow the soul link. I will not be monitoring your every little feeling. My spirit soars. No more heartbeat surveillance. This is the best news I have heard in days. Then her tone shifts. The commanding edge melts away, replaced by raw jealousy wrapped in stubbornness. Also, while I am in recovery, you are not allowed to see Seraphina, your majesty. That is, not allowed means not allowed. I can still sense your general location through the link. If you sneak off to Silver Moon Peak, the first thing I do when I come out is roast you and eat you. I will not even bother with seasoning. My meat tastes terrible. Shut up. Are you actually considering going? Remember, I am not being unreasonable. I simply hate her touching you. That is all. Understood? Understood. Good. I am going to prepare now. Stay in the fortress. Do not wander. The link goes quiet. The constant background hum of another soul's presence, like a night light in my mind, switches off. The silence feels strange. I lean back in the hot spring, staring at the steam rising toward the cave ceiling. The double dragon queen nightmare of today is finally over. I have no power over either of them. I am a dragon knight, not a dragon relationship counselor. One step at a time. While Eluvia is in recovery, I will focus on training and getting stronger. As for Seraphina, I will avoid her as much as possible. Far away on Silver Moon Peak, Seraphina stands alone on her cliff under the cold moon. She holds her memory scale one last time. The blurry boy from years ago is now crystal clear, every feature, every expression, fully visible. I knew it was you. She whispers the real name for the first time, connecting all the pieces. Xiaoyan, or rather, Luo Yi. She has figured out everything. The fake names, the disguise, the voice, the way I know dragon customs too well, the fragments she picked up from Eluvia's conversations, and today's visit confirmed it all. Why did you change your name? Why wear a mask? Why pretend you do not know me? She pauses. And why did you become Eluvia's dragon knight instead of mine? No one answers. She tucks the scale away and walks toward her palace. Next time we meet, I will make you tell me yourself. At the entrance, she stops and calls to her silver dragon attendant. Send a formal invitation to Sure How. Have it delivered by someone who can hide their presence completely. Under what pretense, Your Majesty? She thinks for a moment and smiles. Tell him I am inviting him for roasted meat. We hunted a moonlight deer on the mountain. The meat is much better than rabbit. If he is interested, he can come. If he is not interested, her silver eyes flash with something lazy and dangerous. Have the messenger bring him by force. The attendant's tail goes stiff. Your Majesty, that does not sound much like an invitation. How not? I invite him. He does not come. I send someone to escort him. Perfectly courteous, she turns and disappears into her palace, already looking forward to what comes next. 3 days after Eluvia goes into closed-door recovery, the fortress feels empty. No little black dragon sunbathing on the throne. No sarcastic comments through the soul link. Just silence. I sit on the steps of the main hall, rolling a magic core between my fingers, thinking about something that has been eating at me for a while. Is this world really a game? If it is a game, why does Seraphina's gaze make my skin crawl? Why does my heart race when Eluvia's tail brushes my hand? Why do these characters feel more real than anything in any game I have ever played. But if it is not a game, then what is the system panel in my head? The stat numbers, the skill trees, the affection scores? I call up the system and ask it directly. Is this world really a game? It answers immediately, matter of fact as always. Of course it is. System panel, stats, skills, affection tracking. These are all core elements of a gamified world. Would I lie to you? Then why does everything feel so real? Ultra high fidelity, full immersion. That is the selling point. You chose this game because it promised 100% realism, remember? I stare at the floating text for a long time. The system is right. That is exactly why I started playing. But I have been in this world for over 10 years. I grew up here. I fought here. I met real people, felt real emotions, made real choices. If this is just a game, what does any of that mean? The system tells me I am overthinking it. Just enjoy the game. Enjoy the story. Enjoy the female characters. That is the correct way to play. I laugh quietly. You are right. I am thinking too much. And if this is a game, then running away should be perfectly fine, right? The thought takes root and will not leave. Eluvia has been good to me. Sometimes I think maybe I could just stay. But I am a player and she is a character. There cannot be a real ending for us. I already got my Dragon Knight class. The mission is basically complete. And I am trapped between two dragon queens in an escalating disaster. If I do not leave now, Seraphina's next move will lock me down for good. Eluvia is in recovery. Seraphina has not made her next play yet. This is my window. I make my decision and walk toward the exit, feeling light and free. Then I slam face first into an invisible wall. I stumble backward, clutching my stinging nose. Nothing is there, just empty air. But my hands cannot push through it. I try every exit. The main entrance, the side door, the secret tunnel behind the mountain. Every single one is sealed with the same dark purple barrier. Eluvia, she planned for this. Before going into recovery, she locked down the entire fortress. Deep underground in the Dragon Source Hall, surrounded by swirling shadow energy, a giant black dragon sleeps while her body slowly heals. She senses something and chuckles in her sleep. Stupid night. Trying to run? Not a chance. Back on the surface, I rub my nose and start looking for another way out. Then a deep voice comes from the shadows behind me, clearly amused. Where are you going, mister? Dragon Knight? I turn slowly. In the darkness under the stone ceiling, two amber eyes glow like embers. A black dragon steps out of the shadows. He is much smaller than Eluvia's full form, but still towers over me, covered in dark scales with powerful muscles. A long scar runs down from his right eyebrow to his jaw, giving him a roguish look. Name is Saltar, he says, tilting his scarred head, scanning me up and down without any respect. He blows a puff of smoke from his nostrils. I guard the fortress. Before the queen went into recovery, she left one specific instruction. She said you might try to. He pauses, showing half a row of white fangs and a knowing grin. Don't run away. I was not running. Just getting some fresh air, I say with a straight face. Fresh air. He circles me slowly, tail swishing lazily. The fortress has folded space inside it, big as an entire capital city. You need outside air? And getting fresh air requires testing every single exit? Do you think I am stupid? I push the barrier one more time. It does not budge. Ripples spread across its purple surface, mocking me. I turn to look at Saltar, the black dragon guard. He is sprawled across a stone platform like a lazy cat, tail swinging off the edge, amber eyes half closed, clearly enjoying the show. Still pushing, he hops down and taps the barrier with a claw. It rings like a drum. The queen set this seal herself. You think your bare hands can break it? I was just testing. You tested it 15 times. He grins, scar stretching across his face. Want to know what she told us guards before she went into recovery? She gathered every single one of us and laid down the rules. Her exact words were, he clears his throat and imitates her proud, fierce tone. If he steps 1 foot outside the barrier, when I come out, I will roast the guards and him together. My mouth twitches. That does sound exactly like her. I do not want to be barbecue. Saltar shrugs, his shoulder scales clinking. So please, stay put. I stare at the barrier for a few seconds, then change my approach. I am not trying to escape. I want to go to the back mountain to hunt beasts and train. I will stay inside the territory. That should be allowed, right? Saltar studies me, then lets out a low chuckle. The back mountain is within the territory barrier. As long as you do not try to break through the outer wall, I can open the gate. But he looks me up and down doubtfully. You sure you can handle it? Since the queen went into recovery, the beasts back there have gone wild. Packs of them roaming everywhere. With your size, this small body carried your queen out of the eternal night rift, I say. That shuts him up. He blinks, tries to think of a comeback, then gives up and starts walking. Fine. Since you are so confident, follow me. He leads me to a hidden passage behind an ordinary-looking stone wall. His claw presses a small indent. Purple magic lines spread outward, and the wall slides open to reveal blazing sunlight and thick forest air. Remember, the whole back mountain is inside the main barrier, he says. Do not try anything clever. I will not run. If I did, what do you think Eluvia would do to me when she comes out? He laughs. You know yourself well. I step through. The sun hits my face hard. Before I get far, Saltar calls after me, actually sounding concerned for once. Be careful. If you get chewed up by a beast on my watch, the queen will pluck my scales off one by one when she returns. Relax. I will not die, I call back without turning around. He watches me disappear into the forest, tail sweeping the ground slowly. Tough kid, he mutters to himself. Better tell the beast lords back there to go easy on him. The back mountain is the most dangerous hunting ground in Eluvia's territory. Dense forests, constant beast fights, roars and crashing trees echoing from every direction. Today the beasts are wilder than I have ever seen. I follow a stream downhill and find a hidden ledge behind a massive tree. Crouching low, I spot my target, an iron-spine rhino drinking at a muddy pool. It is huge, 2 sizes bigger than the boar leader I killed before, with a thick horn on its forehead built for devastating charges. The system tags it, level 28 elite. Earth type, armor resistance maxed out. Weak points, the soft scales under its belly and the joint gap beneath its jaw. 2 levels below the shadow panther I killed, but its natural heavy armor makes it nearly impossible to take down quickly. High experience reward though. Dragon power stirs in my veins. Dark golden light crawls along my spear shaft toward the tip. Time to get stronger. I spend 7 straight days hunting in the back mountain like a machine. Day 1. I kill 17 boars and 12 wolves, pushing from level 15 to 16. Day 2. I take on an entire pack of level 25 rock lizards and wipe them all out, hitting level 17. By day 5, I solo a level 30 shadow panther without any dragon breath help, purely on my own skill and spear work. Level 18. My body is stronger, my dragon power flows smoother, my reflexes are sharper. But it is still not enough. I can feel the next breakthrough is close. 1 more level, and I will unlock a new skill. I am standing on the highest cliff, looking out over the endless dark forest, planning tomorrow's hunt, when a tiny silver dragon wobbles through the air toward me. It is barely bigger than a cat, wings so thin they are see-through, flying like a drunk bird. But it slips right through Eluvia's barrier like it is not even there. It lands in front of me, drops a silver-white letter into my palm, and nudges my fingers with its nose. The letter smells like moonlight flowers. The handwriting is elegant. Dear Mr. Dragon Knight, I just hunted a moonlight deer on Silver Moon Peak. The meat is much better than rabbit. I am inviting you for roasted meat. The fire is already lit. Coming? Seraphina. I fold the letter and shake my head at the little dragon. Tell your queen thanks, but I am too busy training. The little dragon does not take the letter back. It stares at me, then opens its tiny mouth and growls. The sound is about as threatening as a kitten sneezing. Then it starts flailing its paws wildly, wings flapping, tail pointing everywhere, doing some kind of desperate charades. After watching this performance for a while, I piece together the message. The queen ordered that I must come. Not optional. I laugh. You are smaller than my knee. How exactly are you going to make me go? The little dragon puffs up. Then its body explodes with silver light. In seconds it grows from kitten size to nearly 2 meters tall, wings spreading wide and powerful, eyes sharp and predatory. It looks down at me, grins a very human-like grin, and before I can react, it bites the back of my collar. Not hard enough to hurt or tear the cloth, just firm enough to lift me off the ground like a mother cat carrying a kitten. I look down at the shrinking forest below my dangling feet, then up at the silver wings beating above me. Your silver dragon hospitality is really something, I mutter. The dragon laughs through its teeth and flies faster, heading toward the moonlit mountain on the horizon. Below us, back at the fortress, Saltar is fast asleep on his guard platform, sprawled out with his tail hanging off the edge, dreaming about food. He has no idea a silver dragon just flew into his territory and carried away the person he was supposed to be watching. Silver Moon Peak grows larger and larger until the white jade steps glow beneath us. The silver dragon lands, gently sets me down at the bottom of the staircase, and backs away. I stand there with my collar wrinkled, my hair a wind-blown mess, looking up the steps. Serafina is waiting at the top. The night wind plays with her silver hair and robe. She tilts her head slightly and smiles down at me, those silver eyes full of quiet amusement. And somewhere far underground, poor Eluvia is still deep in her healing sleep, completely unaware. "Welcome to Silver Moon Peak, Mr. Dragon Knight," Serafina says, standing at the top of the stairs, silver robe flowing in the wind, looking like the moon itself took human form. I fix my wrinkled collar and messy hair. Is this how silver dragons always invite guests? Or is it just for me? She tilts her head with a slight smile. It depends on the guest. For those who come willingly, I ask politely. For those who might run, I send an escort. She leads me through the palace halls. The floor is white jade. The ceiling is transparent, and actual starlight pours down like walking on a river of stars. At the end is an open terrace on the cliff edge, where a whole moonlight deer is roasting on a silver grill, filling the air with rich, sweet-smelling smoke. But the food is not why I am here. "You went through all this trouble just for dinner?" I asked directly. She stops smiling. She walks toward me, her silver eyes locking onto mine with an intensity one have never seen from her before. "I have a question I need you to answer tonight." She steps closer. "You have been deliberately avoiding me. Am I wrong?" "I have not been avoiding you." "No? You covered your face, faked a throat injury, changed your name, and kept your distance every second I was near you. That is not avoiding?" She steps closer again. I can smell the moonlight flowers and fruit wine on her. Her hair brushes my hand in the wind. "Xiaoyan," she says softly, using my old fake name. "Did you think changing your name would fool me?" I freeze. I knew this moment was coming. I just did not expect it so soon. "When did you figure it out?" I ask. "First glance in the valley." She says it plainly, without pride. "Your disguise was good. Your voice was convincing. But you always shift your weight to your left leg when standing, and you squint your left eye first before looking at someone. Those habits do not change. I did not even know I did that." I let out a bitter laugh. So my entire disguise was pointless. Not pointless. It worked perfectly well. She steps even closer, close enough that I can count her eyelashes. "You got into the Black Dragon Fortress and won Eluvia's heart. That proud little dragon actually bound her soul to you." Her voice carries something I cannot quite name. Not jealousy. More like frustration. "I never understood," she says, eyes fixed on mine, refusing to let me look away. "Years ago, you climbed Silver Moon Peak alone and asked to be my dragon knight. I said I needed time to think. That same night, you disappeared and never came back. Then years later, you ran into a hopeless battle, threw your body in front of Eluvia, and signed a life-and-death contract. With her in a place where survival was nearly impossible. So I am asking you one honest question. Why her and not me? I cannot tell her the real reason. Because you were too hard to unlock and I could not trigger the Dragon Knight class with you. Would get me killed before I finished the sentence. The timing was different, I manage. Timing, she repeats the word slowly, then laughs with a hint of self-mockery. So the timing was wrong for me, but perfect for her. Something like that. Then what if I told you? She steps forward until her nose is almost touching mine, her warm breath brushing my lips, moonlight fragrance and fruit wine flooding my senses, that my timing has finally arrived. My heart slams against my ribs. She raises her right hand. Cool, slender fingers press flat against my chest, right over my heart. She can feel every wild, uncontrollable beat. Your heartbeat has already given away everything, she whispers. You were never indifferent to me. Were you? I cannot answer. Because she is right. Every time she has touched me, my body has reacted before my brain could stop it. My heart has been a traitor from the start. Her fingertip traces upward from my chest, along the side of my neck, and stops under my chin. She gently tilts my face down toward hers. She rises slightly on her toes, silver hair spilling over her shoulders, brushing my arms. Her neck, slender and pale, is completely exposed. We are so close I can see the stars reflected in her eyes. Every alarm in my head is screaming at me to push her away, step back, keep distance. But my body will not move. I am frozen. She slowly closes her eyes. Her long lashes tremble like butterfly wings. She tilts her head and leans toward my lips. The sweet scent of moonlight and wine swallows everything. Her mouth is barely an inch from mine. My brain short-circuits. Wait, is she actually going to kiss me? This is not how it works in games. If this goes any further and Eluvia finds out, my affection score will not just drop to 0. It will go negative, and she will light up the entire mountain range with dragon fire aimed at my face. Just as that thought flashes through my mind, Serafina stops. Her lips hover less than an inch from mine. Then she opens her eyes. They are perfectly clear. Not a trace of being caught up in the moment. That familiar cat playing with a mouse smile is back on her face. Tell me, she whispers, do you really not want this? Something inside me snaps. For 3 days, she has controlled every moment between us. The hand touch that betrayed my heartbeat, the foot under the table, and now a fake almost kiss that nearly broke my brain. She has been leading this dance, and I have been stumbling after her like a fool. I am a veteran player. I have cleared multiple storylines. I cannot let one dragon queen push me around forever. Besides, the system said this is a game. My hidden class, Holy Dragon Knight, is still locked on my panel. Maybe this is how I trigger it. I make my decision. I grab her waist and lean in to kiss her. My body locks up instantly. Her hand is on my chest, gentle but immovable. She was ready for this. Oh my, she laughs softly. What exactly are you trying to do, Mr. Dragon Knight? You told me to. I asked if you wanted to. I never said to act on it. Her face is the picture of innocence. I want to strangle her. So the entire thing was just her toying with me. Every single second. She steps back, arms crossed, looking thoroughly entertained. Besides, if I remember correctly, a Dragon Knight contract is a soul bond. One night, one dragon. You are already bound to Eluvia. If you had actually kissed me just now, what would that make you? Cheating behind your partner's back? My face twitches. Could you pick a nicer way to say that? What would you prefer? Engaging in romantic ambiguity with another dragon queen while contractually bound to the first one? That is just cheating with extra words. I take a deep breath. I know this is my only chance to take back control. If I do not tell her the truth now, she will hold this over me forever. What if I told you? I say, keeping my voice steady, that I can form contracts with more than one dragon. She freezes. For the first time, genuine surprise crosses her face. What did you say? I am different from other knights. My soul can support multiple dragon bonds at the same time. She is quiet for a moment. Then she smiles, not mocking, not disbelieving, but with that look of, you just became much more interesting. Prove it, she says. Words are cheap. You can test it yourself. She raises her hand before I can finish. No need to explain. I have a more direct method. A ball of silver-white light forms in her palm, spinning and expanding into an elaborate contract array. Silver lines weave into layers of intricate patterns with a dragon symbol at the center. The glow bathes everything around us in pale silver. This is the Silver Dragon Contract Array, she says, her voice calm but serious beneath the surface. If you are telling the truth, it will coexist with your existing bond. If you are lying, it will trigger a backlash from Eluvia's contract. It will not kill you, but you will be bettered in for months. Cold sweat runs down my back. So, she pushes the array toward me, silver light painting sharp lines across her beautiful face. Do you dare? I stare at the glowing array for 3 seconds. Then I smile. Why would I not? I reach out and press my palm against the silver contract array. The moment my hand makes contact, the silver light explodes outward, flooding the entire terrace in blinding radiance. A cool, pure power rushes up my arm and floods into my body. It crashes against Eluvia's dark shadow energy already living inside me. I clench my teeth as sweat rolls down my face. For a terrifying moment, the two forces collide, but then something incredible happens. They split my soul space in half, like two kings dividing a kingdom. Dark golden shadow power takes the left side of my body. Silver moonlight power takes the right. Where they meet in the middle, they simply flow past each other without fighting. The system goes insane with notifications. Contract conflict detected. Judging compatibility. Judgment passed. Both powers can coexist. Contract established. I did it. I actually did it. I jumped from level 18 to 20. All my stats explode. Strength, speed, endurance, magic. Everything surges with a 500% bonus from the stacked contracts. I unlock a brand new class, Holy Dragon Knight, with a whole new set of skills including Holy Wings for flight, a light element spear attack, a moonlight shield, and an upgraded soul resonance that works with both dragons at once. I can feel both powers flowing through me in perfect harmony. Shadow like the deepest night sky, silver like cold moonlight. Together, they create a balance I have never felt before. This proves it. The system is real, the stats are real, the skills are real. This world really is a game. And if it is a game, then I can play it to the fullest. Full collection, all storylines, every boss lady on my list, here I come. While I am celebrating inside, Seraphina is frozen in shock. Her silver eyes are wide open, her lips parted, wearing an expression I have never seen on her face before. You really can bond with more than one dragon. Her voice actually trembles. I grin. I told you I was not lying. She stares at me for a long time, like she is seeing me for the first time. Then she smiles. Not her usual calculating smirk, but a genuine, delighted smile, like a hunter who just caught the rarest creature in existence. Fascinating, she whispers. You are the only human in this world who holds contracts with two dragon queens at the same time. You are truly one of a kind. Then her smile turns mischievous. But there is one little problem you seem to have overlooked. Dragon contracts are life and death bonds. You are now tied to both me and Eluvia. If we ever fight each other, will you be torn in half? The blood drains from my face. If those two ever go all out against each other, the contract backlash would destroy me. She watches my color disappear and lets out a soft laugh. Relax. I will not fight her. Her voice turns lazy and satisfied. I am just wondering what expression Eluvia will make when she comes out of recovery and discovers this. She steps closer and touches my cheek with her fingertips. Do you know how long I have been waiting for this answer? Before I can respond, she rises on her toes and presses her lips softly against mine. The kiss is light and gentle, tasting faintly of moonlight flowers, like a piece of the moon landing on my lips. The system explodes. Her affection jumps from 52 to 60. The note says years of frustration and today's satisfaction have merged, and she has decided to never give me a chance to run away again. I stand completely frozen. My brain is empty. She steps back, licks her lips, and nods with satisfaction. Not bad. I stare at her, still unable to move or think. She looks at my stunned face and laughs. What is wrong? A moment ago you were trying to kiss me. Now that I kissed you first, you have gone stupid? I snap back to reality. You are not worried Eluvia will find out? Seraphina smiles and presses a finger to the spot between my eyebrows. A cool silver light sinks into my skin and wraps around my soul link like a thin silver film. She is deep underground in closed-door recovery, all her senses pulled inward. She cannot feel your emotions right now. And with my moonlight blocking spell on top of that, even if your heart is pounding out of your chest, she will not sense a thing. I am speechless. This woman planned everything. Every single step. She sees the helpless, trapped look on my face and laughs, bright and satisfied. Scared now? She steps forward. I step back. My back hits the stone railing of the terrace. Nowhere left to go. She leans in, placing both hands on the railing on either side of me, caging me between her arms. Her silver hair falls over her shoulders and brushes my face and neck, carrying the cold, sweet scent of moonlight flowers. Her silver eyes lock onto mine, full of playful mischief. A moment ago you were so bold, trying to grab me and kiss me. Now that I have you cornered, you are suddenly shy? She is right. From the very first moment in that mountain valley, she has been leading. She saw through every disguise, read every emotion, used every touch to throw me off balance, and finally lured me into signing a second contract. 3 full days of being her mouse. And just now, after she kissed me, she stepped back and licked her lips like I was a dessert she had finished sampling. Like I was entertainment. No, absolutely not. I am a player. I have pride. Something shifts inside me. I lift my eyes, and for the first time, there is something sharp and dangerous in them. Your Majesty, I say, dropping my voice low. stripping away the usual gentleness. My tone turns deep and commanding, a side of me she has never seen. You said the taste was not bad? Surprise flickers across her silver eyes for just a moment. Then the amusement returns. What? Want your kiss back? No. I step forward instead of retreating. Our noses nearly touch. Our breath tangles together. I just think that since our contract is a two-way soul bond, the intimacy and control should go both ways too. Her eyes widen slightly. The teasing fades. She can feel the change in me. I am no longer the prey running from the hunter. I am something that has decided to stare the hunter down. She opens her mouth to say something clever, to take back control. She does not get the chance. I wrap my arm around her waist, pull her toward me hard, and kiss her. This is not the gentle, light touch she gave me. This is a real kiss. Forceful, hot, and unapologetic. All the frustration from 3 days of being toyed with, all the competitive fire, all poured into this one moment. Her back hits the stone railing. She tries to move, but my arm holds her tight. Her silver eyes go wide. For the first time since I have known her, the 5,000-year-old silver dragon queen has absolutely no idea what to do. In 5,000 years, no one has ever dared to do this to her. She has watched empires rise and fall, faced down countless challengers, always in control. But right now, her mind goes completely blank. This is not how the script was supposed to go. She was the one setting traps, pulling strings, teasing, and controlling. How did she end up being kissed breathless in someone's arms? She tries to push me away. Her hands press against my chest, gathering strength. But when her palms feel my heartbeat, steady and strong, all that force just melts away. She cannot push. She does not want to. I deepen the kiss, pouring in all the frustration from 3 days of being her toy. My hand slides down her waist, tracing her curves through the thin silver robe, then moves slowly up along her spine until my fingers rest on the back of her neck. Her breathing falls apart. Her hands stop pushing and start gripping my shirt, fingers trembling. Her silver eyes, always so calm and knowing, are now wide with genuine panic. 5,000 years of composure, shattered. Then my fingers move higher, through her silky silver hair, and find what I am looking for. 2 small, delicate silver horns hidden among the strands. Dragon horns. The most forbidden, most sensitive spot on any dragon. Just like Eluvia's. I brush my fingertip along the edge of one horn. A tiny, choked sound escapes her throat before she bites it back. Her whole body shudders like electricity just shot through every nerve. Her silver eyes go wide, all pride and playfulness gone, replaced by raw shock and something burning and unfamiliar. In dragon tradition, touching someone's horns is the most intimate act possible. Only the closest, most trusted being is ever allowed. Before she can process what is happening, the sensation floods through her entire body. Her legs give out. She nearly collapses. Luo Yi. Her scream tears through the silent palace. A massive blast of silver magic erupts outward from her body. I am launched off my feet, flying backward through the air, and slam into the moonstone railing. My back aches from the impact. The system goes wild. Her affection rockets from 60 to 75 to 85 to 100 in a single explosion. Maximum bond unlocked. The system warns me she is emotionally unstable and might transform into her full dragon form and attack. It tells me to calm her down immediately. I rub my sore back against the cold railing and look at her. I cannot help smiling. The great silver dragon queen is a mess. Her silver hair is tangled and stuck to her flushed cheeks. Her face is crimson from her cheeks to her ears to her neck. Both hands are clamped over her horns, fingers shaking. Her famous cold, all-seeing silver eyes are now filled with panic, embarrassment, and a watery shimmer she is desperately trying to hide. And underneath all of that, something she will never, ever admit out loud. She did not hate it. You. How dare you? Her voice shakes. 5,000 years of perfect composure, completely destroyed. I look at her, this once untouchable queen now flustered and trembling, and feel a deep, satisfying wave of victory. Finally, after 3 days of being her helpless mouse, I have completely turned the tables. Oh, I raise an eyebrow, keeping my voice light and teasing. Your Majesty, judging by your reaction, it seems like you are quite inexperienced with this kind of touch. Her silver eyes go wide with fury. A 5,000-year-old dragon queen, teased by a human barely 20 years old. She forces herself to calm down, takes several deep breaths, and fires back with icy composure. Oh, you are no better. Judging by how clumsy you were, are you perhaps completely inexperienced? My grin freezes. Do you have to be that blunt? She bursts out laughing, clear and bright, all her earlier panic washing away. She has scored a direct hit, and she knows it. We are even again. Shy now? She tilts her head, the cat and mouse sparkle back in her eyes. You were so aggressive a moment ago. What happened? I close my eyes, take a breath, and do something she does not expect. I open the soul resonance between us to full power. 100% synchronization. No barriers, no masks, no hiding. She can feel everything I feel. I can feel everything she feels. Her eyes widen. She did not see this coming. Full soul resonance is more intimate than any physical touch. It is two souls standing completely naked before each other. I open my eyes and look straight into hers. All the teasing is gone from my face. Only honesty. You said I was shy? Then let us drop every wall and be completely honest with each other. I lean down and kiss her again. This time she does not resist. The soul link lets her feel everything I feel, and I feel everything she feels. Every sensation doubles, reflected back through the bond, amplified beyond anything either of us expected. Her last shred of composure dissolves. Her hands climb to my shoulders and grip tight, fingers trembling. 5,000 years of loneliness melt away in this single moment. When she finally pulls back, she is a different person from the poised queen who greeted me at the top of the stairs. Silver hair tangled, cheeks burning red, eyes soft and unfocused, lips flushed. She tries to speak. Nothing comes out. Her voice is gone. Then she grabs my collar, pulls me toward her with sudden force, and says in a rough, determined whisper, "You are not leaving tonight." Silver light wraps around both of us.